Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning in a big way. Impressive moves so far, 1+% for the most part, right across the board as we get to U.S. Election Day underway officially. We saw a bit of a bounce back yesterday following the weakness that ended off the month of October. That was led primarily by spiking COVID-19 cases, a breakdown in stimulus talks between the Democrats and the White House. We'll see what happens as far as the Senate is concerned with the election coming up, possible shift in policy, how that will affect the overall market. Going to be an interesting day to say the least. We have a number of individual names to look at this morning. PayPal shares, first off, down sharply, 5+% after the company's latest quarterly earnings report. Online home furnishing retailer Wayfair reported this morning. Their earnings came in well above expectations. And EV makers back on watch this morning. We saw big moves in the group yesterday following October Chinese delivery numbers that were better than expected as well. It's the big day. It's Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. A look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Positive numbers top to bottom here. Nice 1+% gains right across the board. We'll shift over to Europe next and see how things are shaping up. Yeah, more positivity here, top to bottom, looking good to start. Let's go over to North America and see more positive numbers as well. You can see the Dow back in charge again today. As far as U.S. markets are concerned, 1.4% to the upside. TSX futures here in Toronto, 0.7%. Brazil's open, trading higher. Bitcoin to the upside this morning. Big bounce in crude oil, 3.5%. Gold also in positive territory this morning as well. Good morning, guys. The day has arrived. It is U.S. Election Day, going to be an exciting one. Lots to look at as far as individual names this morning. Lots to keep an eye on as well, worth mentioning as far as headlines as they start to come in. Maybe not today, but tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. Go ahead. We were talking pre-market here that, you know, unless there's some sort of concession speech tonight, that it's probably going to be a rocky road here for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we get it all settled out. Well, not us, but you know, the citizens of the U.S., I guess, and the ballot counters. And like you mentioned, Brendan, some states aren't even counting mail-in votes until later on this evening. So there's no way anything's really going to get determined. But hey, look, if it's a landslide one way or the other, then I don't know if those, you know, ballots will matter. But again, I don't know. It's like, you know, Vegas has the odds at Biden winning, but they did the same with Clinton. So I'm not sure what to expect here. It's going to be a big day. We've got some names on watch. We're already in the money on a few of these smaller names, including AMC and something called Jack. So we'll wait to see what happens here. But yeah, this is still AMC. We are short here, 240. Big move up today, but we'll keep fading these movie theaters.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to the theater soon. We were just talking about that with Disney, and it's all about the stream game, Mandalorian. But other big news today, sort of out of nowhere, the Ant Financial IPO, which was to be the biggest one ever, dual listing in both in Shanghai and Hong Kong, suspended in both markets. Alibaba holds a 33% stake. They're trading. I actually just got into Alibaba on a bit of a rollover here, and just the first move down. This is when Shanghai suspended the deal, went all the way down to 290, recovered to 300, and then when Hong Kong also suspended it down to 280, and it just came back. And I looked at this little hump here, 293, short in front of it, picked some up at 92, was able to just take some out for $1.50. If it rolls back over to like 86, 87, just looking to play the activity here. 4 million in volume. Looks like Alibaba out of nowhere going to be on watch all day today.
Yeah, definitely going to be an exciting one today. Alibaba on that news. We'll touch on that coming up. Here's what's coming up later in the show, a little bit later anyways. About 11:40, 11:45. Valeria will have the link for you. Yeah, brand new educational video. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, kind of teed it up. How to approach trading today on Election Day, and not only Election Day, but kind of the entire election season. Very, very headline-driven market, lots of risk, lots of volatility. So great video for you coming about 11:45 or so. Valeria will have the link for you. Speaking of Valeria, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to her.
Good morning, Brandon, and hi, traders. I wish you all a great day. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, let's indeed get it started, guys. We have lots to get through before we get to the open at 9:30. If you're joining us for the first time, grab the watch list, guys. Valeria will help you out if you need the link in the chat. All you have to do is enter your email address. We'll deliver it right to your inbox before we come on. Every single morning at 9 a.m., we talk about all the stocks that have some sort of fresh catalyst or news in the pre-market and are moving around. The first one we're going to touch on today is PayPal. Yeah, not a good report for PayPal. It was the forecast that really sent things to the downside. Both the Q4 forecast and the 21 forecast not where it was supposed to be or where expectations had it pegged. They're looking at 17 to 18% growth in adjusted profits for Q4. That was well below the 20% number that was expected, guys. So PayPal here, negative look to start the day.
Yeah, good opportunity to get in from where, as far as I'm looking at this. Yeah, look, I mean, whenever you guide forward and it's not a great guide, you're going to get hit. The thing that I look at there was 3 price target upgrades as well today. So even though they guided lower, they might be priced pretty nice down here, down 6%. Like, I don't think today is the day to go in and buy anything, but I do like PayPal. I still like the story there. They're getting into cryptocurrency. A lot of you already know about that. We talked about that last week when it shot this thing up to like, let's call it a daily chart. I think it went up to like, what, 210 or so? I remember we were trading that in the pre-market. Yeah, there it was. Yeah, up to, yeah, exactly, almost exactly. 210, 216. And then look, it's just gotten wrecked in this tech wreck. So right now we're down here. I think it's a better buy down here at 170 if we can get it. So, you know, it could shave 6 points right now. 6 points off that number. We'll see if that can come through. But PayPal, not a great report. Levels, I like actually 174 to break to the downside is what I wound up writing down there. And again, it's just one of those numbers where I don't like it. 175 could break. It's already been up so much. It's been beat down for a while. So I'm just going to watch. Right now it's 40 cents. I'm going to watch PayPal. I don't want my bias to come too much into play here, but I do think this is worth buying. Just like Alibaba, I want to put that in my account later on today as well. So PayPal to the downside, you know, was my call of the year back at 108. That was in January. You know, you had a double base, almost exactly a double into last week. So I still like it. I like what they're doing, and I'd have my money in digital currencies all day anyways. So I like PayPal, but not a good report.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're going to have active users at 15. Expected was like 22 million. And obviously, there's a lot of things that are going to drag it back down here. And as Sean said, any slight miss was going to probably catch this thing back to the downside. The other level I'm going to look at is also up here at about a 179 area, just if it comes back in. And then we can maybe test that. If it tests that level on a bit of a bounce play, I'd like to be shorting in front of it if I can. You know, we expect some turmoil today, but I think we could get more sideways action than expected in some names. So having some levels to work off of in either direction, just in case you're rage bound, could be to our advantage here. I did get out of the second half of Alibaba. It just bounced off that 9.2 a couple times. So we'll make $1.50 and then lose about 15 pennies on the second half of that trade. I think we're going to be pretty active in BABA today.
Heading in the opposite direction of PayPal this morning is Wayfair. Big beat for Wayfair. $2.30 per share on its EPS versus 84 cents expected. So big beat on the per share number. Revenue kind of in line, they beat, but 3.84 billion versus 3.7 billion for the quarter. So obviously Wayfair benefiting, guys, from everyone staying at home, shopping online for anything and everything for your home, I guess.
So about that, Wayfair is giving just about everything back in the pre-market. It's so crazy. Got up to $300. I mean, you get up here and it was like, you know, $40 move to the upside. If you look at that gap, and 55 is where we closed, and we're $1 away from that. I mean, I came in here thinking to myself, hey, let's play off of this like 286 area, 285, 286 area off the open. Volume picks up, it gives you one shot at it, and then just fades entirely off. So we can probably throw that away, given, you know, we're now 10% away from what I thought was going to be a nice little target area on the daily chart. You know, it has been coming back in, so I guess maybe selling off once it got back to the 50 period, it was not terribly surprising, but there might be support down in like the 240, 250 range. Certainly we're a lot closer to that than I expected on Wayfair. I would have loved to play off of like that mid 280s. It doesn't feel like that's going to be the case. We're watching 255 yesterday's close. If it can't hold that, that's a bit of a bearish sign. Surprising that we've given so much back in Wayfair.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to get, I think 250 could probably break here on this kind of a move down. I mean, look, the report, it seemed like it was good. 230 a share versus 84 cents. What we're doing right now is, if you're joining us late, make sure that you definitely grab our morning movers. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. It's free. So this is what we're talking about right now. PayPal on board, Wayfair. Next, we're going to talk about BABA, NEO, Li Auto, everything's on your cruise operators, Twitter, AMC, some names I'm already in, AMC, BBGI. Actually, I'm in all three of these right now as well. So if you want to know what we're trading and be part of this team here, definitely sign up, watchlist.tradertv.live. That's Wayfair. Next up, looks like it's going to be Alibaba, Brendan.
All right, guys, yeah, let's go to Alibaba here next. The big news, bit of a surprise, I guess, this morning. If you look back at yesterday, though, Chinese regulators did speak to Jack Ma, the co-founder of both Alibaba and Ant Group. Obviously, Alibaba, majority owner of Ant Financial. It's the Shanghai Star Exchange that was going to be the big one, or had the most hype around it, but was going to be dual listed in Hong Kong. So both Shanghai and Hong Kong coming out this morning, shelving the IPO, although it's been a little bit tough, guys, to find the exact reason for this yet, but going to keep digging.
I already tweeted it out. I'm already pissed off because honestly, like, I wanted to buy this stock, and we're sitting here doing prep and we're doing all this, and I didn't put the order in to buy it. I mean, maybe we thought it was going to go lower, but you know, every dip opportunity in Alibaba is a reason to buy it. I'm sort of upset still that we missed that 200 and 220 break. This was a great opportunity. Like I said, I tweeted it out this morning. Get some Alibaba while you can, and if you did that, I mean, depending on where you got it, of course, you know, I want it for a longer term investment, so I'd love to get it back down here to 280 and change. For today, obviously, it's going to be pretty violent. Look, this is what we're talking about. And here's that 220 break that I'm upset about, because we hovered around here, and then since we broke it, it's just riding VWAP, and then look, or sorry, the 50 period moving average. Right now, that's at 290, so we did break below 280. I'm really thinking that like 260, 270 is a great spot to buy, especially if you do have a Biden win. They're going to be babying China the whole way, like usual. So we'll wait to see. I mean, it's only great news if Biden wins for Alibaba, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. So I would love to pick this stock up on the cheap, and hopefully it comes back down throughout the day, and then I can do exactly that. But I mean, I'm very bullish on Alibaba. I mean, you can even take a break through 294 right here.
Yeah, I was just looking at that 292 area. You can see on the daily chart there was a pullback into this price previously, and then of course today is the first time that we retested it. I wanted to see if we'd roll over there. We did not, so it's a muted win, but seeing some strength. I think 300 is going to be that next level to the upside psychologically, both also where it did try to recover to before it was finalized that Hong Kong was also pulling out. And it's 33%, so it's a significant stake. Some of this was priced in, of course, the positive effect of what was going to be the largest IPO, and probably, I mean, at some point, I guess they're going to still have it. We'll see. The biggest IPO to date in the world. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be actively traded today. We might have a few executions. I'm looking at the 300 level. I'm shorting it till it pops that one, I think. And certainly, if it gets down back to that 280 point, I think that's going to be worth the defense. Some of those levels that step up in a panic, they can be good ones. So if it turns around like 82 or 83 on another flush, got to be picking it up there.
All right, guys, just seeing a couple more headlines here about this Alibaba story here. If we could jump to my screen, guys. Yeah, so they're saying that they're going to go above and beyond to meet and exceed all the stipulations that have been given to them when it comes to this postponement. They have full confidence in Ant Group's colleagues' ability to do a good job in getting this off the ground. So the official term, I guess, as far as what was used, is postponed. So it could, as we said, still happen, I guess, over in China. Let's go to, speaking of China, let's go to EV makers. Both NIO, Li Auto, back on the watch list this morning. Big moves yesterday. NIO did get up to all-time highs and then kind of just faded the rest of the day. It's been extended, as you know, we've been saying for the past couple of weeks, but decent, or better than expected, I guess we should say. October delivery numbers igniting the rally yesterday. But then, as I said, we did see these fade off throughout the day.
I just wanted to say, I was looking for where you were. I want to say a good job there on the chat there. I think it was his name was, or her name was iCapsule there, who bought on my tweet. I try to find it, bought on my tweet there. Alibaba at 287. So a good little win. If you want to take that $5 off, I can't find you right now. I just wanted to say congratulations to that win. Obviously, I wish I was with you. We may get 287 sooner rather than later. And look, I read on the thing, I don't believe in the polls at all. Like, I actually think Trump has a great chance of winning. It's just, you do got to position your portfolio. That's why a few weeks ago we talked about marijuana stocks and how well they've been doing. And I mean, hopefully you guys are taking advantage of that. Most of those returns have given you about 25 to 40% return since I tweeted out some of those marijuana names. So I really, really hope you guys are in those as well. And I'm doing the same thing for Alibaba. I mean, if Trump wins, look, I'm still into JP Morgan. I've got some oil, but not a lot. That I don't like that sector anyways, regardless of who wins. And now we're talking about NEO, Li Auto, everything like that. Let's go over to NEO first of all. I mean, this is going to be going up regardless of who wins. I think we can all agree on that one. NEO just continues to be a monster, man. I mean, I wrote down, let's see if we can break through $35. We have come back down a little bit here. 34, the all-time high, I believe. I'll just go to a longer chart here. Is 34.94. So we make the all-time high just yesterday, it looks like, when we topped out here, 35, before fading all the way back in. We picked up probably, I think it was the best trade yesterday. Like down here, 33.20, we got long off the open. So we're going to look to do the same thing here off NEO again. I like everything that they're doing. No news. We did have the cars release data yesterday. So that was, obviously why we ripped up there. I think it was 15, 20% at some highs there. But 34.25 looking pretty good here to break the high side. Before I throw to NEO, let me just check the imbalance locator. There it is again, another 800,000 to buy here on NEO. So we're going to do the same thing, try to pick some up on the cheap and then blast it through some of these levels if it wants to go, guys.
Yeah, the difference between Li Auto and NEO is Li Auto never actually even got to its highs. It's still trying to grind towards that 24.50. It's only up about 2.5% here. I think, I said this yesterday, if I'm going to pick one to roll over, I'm going to pick Li Auto. So if we get a move into 24.50, hopefully led by NEO, it's a similar thing to yesterday. I'd like to be fading in front of it. Obviously, you can look at some breakouts, but the Li Auto's volume is not very good. Only 300,000 and some sideways action. So another reason why I think it might not have as much juice as NEO has in it today, guys. So let's watch out for this if it gets to that 24.50 mark. I like to try to sell in front.
All right, guys, let's go to Twitter. Trying to bounce here this morning. We're up about 1% and change after 3 straight big days to the downside for Twitter that followed earnings last week that were worse than expected. There was a board committee that in an SEC filing they said have kind of ruled that the current structure of the board should remain in place. Jack Dorsey getting an endorsement through this board committee's ruling. So Twitter to the upside here, but as we said, 3 days in a row here to the downside.
Yeah, one of those days, of course, a little bit bigger than the rest. I don't know if you can find it on the 15-minute chart. Hopefully you can. Look, we're just above that $40 mark. Just came right back in. That was like the secondary push. I guess yesterday, obviously, as Brendan mentioned, it has been 3 days in a row. I'm not sure that we're going to get any kind of a gigantic spike up, but the first look I'm going to do is this is about as stable as it's been in the last couple of sessions in the pre-market. So, from that standpoint, if it's going to be some sideways and there's not as much selling, we can hold above 40. I think it does give the first opportunity that I would look at to at least try to buy Twitter here. I'm not saying it's going to be a humongous mover, but holding above that psychological level, the lack of selling this morning, both those things lend to be worthwhile of a little bit of a break here at 40.20. And you can have a couple of stops. You can go. You can give it to the pre-market low. You can give it to the 40 even. Really, either way, it's 20 or 30 cents that you're taking on Twitter here on the off chance that maybe today is that day. And it's because of that sideways action and lack of selling that I think maybe we'll start thinking about the long in Twitter when it's been short 2 days in a row.
Yeah, we won't be thinking about it at all. We will be taking this through $40.20. I love this long. This is way oversold, guys, here on Twitter. I mean, we were up to $52. I was calling a top there. It was. But yeah, I didn't expect this all the way down to 40. So I think this is way oversold. This level looks pretty sweet to me. We bumped up there yesterday, missed it at $40.15 or so. So this 40.20 is an absolute no-brainer long here. So we're going to take it. Let's just hope it doesn't crack within the next 10 minutes. Would rather it happen, obviously, off the open. Let me just see if there is. Nah, I don't see. Okay, there it is. A small little imbalance there. I don't know if you guys, quick, you can see that. So where was it? It was there. There was a small little buy. There it is. 153,000 there on Twitter. So Citigroup, you know, a lot of bids today, guys. Actually, everything bids on the top side here, Brendan, as the market looks to open up about 400 points here on the Dow.
I don't see any of the next group on there either, which is the cruise operators. All of them now, Norwegian, or all the big ones, I should say, Norwegian, Carnival, and Royal, all now coming out saying that they've extended their operational shutdown until the end of the year. If you remember back on Friday, the CDC, late in the afternoon on Friday, came out and said that they've given the green light for these companies to start planning for resumption of operations in North America. All three companies now, Norwegian was yesterday, if you remember, both Carnival and Royal today, saying that's not going to happen until the end of the year.
Yeah, and really flat. All flat on the day in CCL here, and I see Chop blowing his hands. My hands are cold too. This 1 million shares for Carnival. Royal had done like 40 or 50,000 in pre-market volume, so I'm going to look at Carnival Cruise here. You know, just because you already have this the 1365 price to work off of, you know, if it's going to move and this is going to actually cause a shock to the downside, let's have a look at 1340 to that downside trade, and we just give it to the top. I think ultimately this is going to be the one to pick, if only because of pre-market volume. You know, none of these have moved so far off of this news, but the fact that there is a bit of a stable area that we can play off of does lend itself to a bit of an opening trade here, and then we'll just take a shot. Because if it does break the bottom, there is all that room down to 13 even, so it's worth the risk to reward in this case, even though it doesn't seem like we're moving too much off this news.
I see everybody commenting, yeah, blowing our hands. It's a little cold in here, but I'm happy to report that tomorrow it's going to be like 16 degrees Celsius, which is pretty warm there. I don't know what it is, low 70s, high 60s or so. It's going to be there. And then I'm golfing on Saturday. So Saturday it's supposed to be 17 degrees Celsius. So we'll get in one last round of golf. That'll be happening Saturday. And then we'll be partying every night, including tonight, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all, Brendan, at least 16 degrees. So we're hitting the links one last time. I never thought we'd be able to do that on first weekend in November, but it looks like we're going to be able to do that here in sunny and warm Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Happy to announce, Sean, I will also be joining you, not joining you, but also golfing on Saturday. Yeah, I just checked. 16 is like 60 Fahrenheit, so it's not overly hot, but enough anyways to get out onto the course in November, which is very exciting when you live here. Solar Edge Technologies, one of the clean energy names, solar company reporting earnings. Not one that we typically talk about, doesn't typically trade a lot of volume, but relative volume and the size of the move, the story here, they unexpectedly missed expectations right across the board. Per share revenue, even their forecast was to the downside as far as Q4 is concerned. So this Solar Edge, guys, SEDG, yeah, 20%. We're all the way back to these kind of levels on the daily chart.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary enough. Some room to go. And 180 support is going to stick out like a sore thumb before it got a bit of a ramp up. And you saw all of the solar names get a bit of a bump when it seemed like in the polls that Biden was edging towards a win. There is what could be a resistance level on the way back up here at like 230, I would certainly expect. Which, you know, only $14 away if we're going to be looking at where it is from current prices. I did get close to there before rolling over a couple of times here in the pre-market. Volume not gigantic to this little downside, but because there's room to that 180, I want to see if I can't, and it's not beating up on the stock, I should say, but this is one that I want to try to pick for a bit of a sell. You have a couple of wins here. Obviously, the entire space is under some risk. When it comes to the election, so you get risk off for that reason. You pile in the bad earnings, and I know it's down 19%, but it does feel like I wouldn't be a buyer here of something like this, and I feel like that might not be a crazy position that might be felt across the market.
Okay, I see you here, Draper family. You're in Arizona. It's 90 degrees. Yep, with an invite, Brendan and I will be on the next plane, but we can't take planes, so I guess we'll just walk there. We're going to come to Arizona. You would just invite us, and we're there. And then Mackie, 80 degrees. Here he is here. 80 degrees in Vegas today. So as soon as these borders clear up, guys, there we go. Anytime. Thank you, Draper family. There you go. Do you mind if I bring Brendan? Let's see what he says in here. We'll be coming to go golfing there. Neil can come too and chill out. He's a golf maybe a little bit, Neil.
Oh, God,
but we'll wait to see there. We'll come, guys. Send the invites as soon as this is all cleared up. We'll be traveling, but then who's going to host the show. I don't know if we can do the show live from an office in Phoenix, maybe. We can do that, but we'll wait to see. So back on whatever stocks you guys were talking about. Who knows? Let's go back over to Alibaba quickly here. 287, it's back down to that level. We may get that opportunity, guys, to buy in the 270s today. I think that's going to be a good look. Watch out for this bottom to break. However, we are building a nice little base here. I think, anyways, around 280. Let's see if it can hold that level. Coming back down. You got to watch out for the market, man. Don't make any big plays today, please.
All right, guys, let's have a look at the overall market. We'll bring Arun in here and see, get his thoughts on the overall market first off, and obviously the election. Arun, we touched on it briefly yesterday. Just give us your rundown as far as what to maybe expect on an election day and how you're going to approach trading this.
Okay, so coming into today, I'm, especially with the way the market's been moving pre-market, I'm pulling all up, any and all levels that I had, they're off now. So I'm going to let the market go into what I like to call discovery mode, which is just let it trade, and we'll develop throughout the day where the levels are for that trading session. Now, once the day closes, I remove all those levels. And then once we open again with the results coming out, the early results coming out, then I start developing more levels on where potential volume could be or potential areas to keep an eye on. And then I'll trade that on its own. So it's like segmented. I do not carry levels for over into the next session. I'm just going to segment each portion of the day on its own, just so I can get a better understanding of where potential volume can be. But at the same time, I'm not going to commit to any level as, oh, I'm going to trade in front of this and that's that. No, if things start to change, that level could get blown up. So I kind of pull levels off as I see things start changing. So it's not like, oh, levels there until it fails. That's not the case at all today. So new information changes the game very quickly. So just be aware. Today is one of those days where you kind of maybe want to adjust your strategy a little bit to less of a position play and more of a momentum scalping, but a longer term scalping, if that makes any sense. I know what I'm talking about, but it's kind of hard to explain it. But that's the way I would approach it. Segment the portions out, declare what the volumes are, use it for the one trade, and then just pull it off. Because it's not going to be that kind of day where everything's going to hold all day. So just be aware that is the approach that I'm going to be taking. Everyone has their own approaches. And if you've never traded it before, then maybe trading the pre-market session, the overnight session may not be the best way to go, and just wait until tomorrow to trade the actual North American session.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. Yeah, less is more type of day, I think, definitely right across the board, especially if you're not experienced with these types of conditions. Less is more, definitely. 8% here for AMC. They reported a massive loss. That was their language, not mine. 250 here to the upside. If you look at the daily chart, 250 is like right here above that. 3 comes into play. So AMC needs to hold below 250. Otherwise, I think we're looking at 3, guys. Big loss for AMC.
Yeah, and every single time I say I should always look at a CGX in Toronto as well, just to see if it retests like a 580 area up here in Toronto. So I might have a quick look at that stock. If you see it jump in, it's just sort of sympathy. Toronto doesn't really trade in the pre-market, so you're not going to see any crazy action there. I do want to jump back to a couple of names here. You're going to see us all in, and I apologize for some people that's saying that our shorts are cut off at the bottom there. Jax, look, these guys are, it was an earnings play. I think we're all in looking at the short position here in a retracement. Not a large gap to the upside. When it comes to earnings, one of the things I like to see is when you get a pullback off of the post-market gap, do you hold that level? Tried to hold right here at that 6 even. There's a couple levels to the upside I was looking at, 675 and 730. Did not test any of those. And then we consolidated the bottom end of the aftermarket range and then hold below it. Once that happens, it breaks down over this 550 to 560 area. That's when I start getting into the short position. So you get a hold at a lower range, you get a breakdown of a support level. Now we're sort of headed back towards previous close of 475, which is an interesting target for me at least. But as you see, we're both looking at that one. AMC looks like an interesting one as well. Just to quickly jump back to one other name. I want to go back to ISIG. This is a day 3 play. It never quite got to 80 cents, but it is still headed to the downside. We had a 130 level we're working off of yesterday. I'm looking at 110 today to see if there's any kind of a bounce to the upside, but it feels like this one lame duck and dead. A couple of days in a row, it's been a good short. If it gives 110s again, it might be a third day.
All right, 179.01 here, 179.25 or so. Let's just see what PayPal wants to do, breaking through 179. So that order is going to be in. Yeah, we're already 11 cents in on Jack right now. That's an easy short. We'll see that one to the bottom here. We're 5 cents in on BBGI as well, giving that one some room. And then AMC, these are just all little stocks here. We're short those ones as well. So you're going to see 3 shorts on board. And then we do have NEO waiting to go. We have Twitter waiting as well to break through 40.20 to the high side with only 20 seconds left. It's going to be Twitter. It's going to be NEO if we can get anything low. And then it's going to be, what was the other one?
Alibaba.
PayPal, Twitter, NEO, and then Alibaba. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Alibaba, of course, coming in. That was late. We didn't see that coming. But, of course, that's a big IPO. 5, 4, 3, 2, ring that bell, Valeria. It is election day. Should be an exciting one for us in the market. Immediately going to jump over to Alibaba. Twitter, the order is locked in and loaded, ready to go. Looks like the short has come in, but if Alibaba can hold off that 280 level, it could be in for a nice little bounce. Would have liked to see it test a bit lower than 285, however, but you get what you can. Going to go over to Jack's. That one already sliding back into the downside here. Haven't taken any profit. I want to see it break down to about 525 or so before we start dipping out of this one. Looks pretty good. BBGI, I'm going to take that one up until about 210 if it does get there, short at 197. But BABA bouncing a little bit, back up to 286 right now.
Okay, guys, we're long right now on PayPal, 179.25. We had to pay the spread, obviously. Did we just get hit? Bang! A nice little 70-cent win to start the day. So your boy's at this again. We're long at 179.25 there. A nice little out, 179.92 there. Watch out, the NASDAQ rips and then comes right back down. So instantly right there on PayPal. We still got a little bit. Watch out, man. This could fade back in. Remember, we're not making huge plays today. We're just trying to make the right one. So there it is. Twitter as well. We go long right here through $40.20. So let's wait to see. The market didn't even open. We got to get out of this one. What's up, Beep?
Different language here, guys. As far as the ants story is concerned, now fully suspended. You can see that. Fully suspended after the Hong Kong exchange joined Shanghai. So fully suspended now, guys.
Yeah, I just got into Twitter. What Sean means there is it has not opened on the New York Stock Exchange. You're seeing these lined up NYB orders. There is no official open, waiting for it to open, and it opens to the high side. So
yeah,
good look there on Twitter. I'll be well, no, it did not open. Sorry. There was a volume spike. If I see a volume spike post 9:30, I'm usually assuming that's going to be the stock open. I was on the level 2. It looks like we are still waiting for the official open on Twitter.
Yeah, we got some in there at 22s, out some 25s as it was not open yet. Now I'm waiting at 39, which is right here.
I just got some at 38. It looks like look, that's a good sign.
Boom!
The fact that it's moving to the upside without the open, and there is the open in the 40s. So there we go. Twitter talked about this one a couple of ways here. Certainly the open trade was a good one. It just broke 40.50. We've been shorting it a couple of days in a row. Into the long side in Twitter for the ride, guys.
Yeah, hells yeah, man. We're doing that all day long. Look, I gave you some of these names, and they're just working out, hopefully now, to the high side. So bang, there on Twitter. Look at this, out at 50 there. Good little trade. Remember, do not be married to anything today. This is going to be a hard one. NEO takes out the top, 33.21. Or sorry, the bottom. We get long at the bottom there, 33.21. We parked our order. Let's wait to see what we can do here with NEO. This doesn't even look open either yet, so we are into this one. A lot of stocks taking their sweet time here this morning, Brendan, to get opened up. But Twitter right now, guys, 40-cent winner for Twitter. We're spinning this already today, guys. What's up, Brendan?
Guys, we're talking about the possibility of volatility coming in today. Have a look at CGC here. It was higher in the pre-market ahead of election results, obviously hoping for a Democrat, but 21 just got taken out there, which was a big level yesterday afternoon. CGC tumbling, guys.
Yep. And I think more and more people, I think right now are thinking, and again, the polls will lie. We already know about that. So, just hold your cards close. Like I've already said today, just be very, very careful. NASDAQ coming back down a little bit here. Not good for our Twitter position, but we've already taken some out, 40s and 50s. Look at this long, guys. This is the trade I gave to you. So long there. Nice little trade. We also gave you NEO. Like, these are all the stocks I'm talking about. Here we go. NEO to the upside. Nice little win here as we're open.
And BBG just reloading, like I said, and up to 207. I'd be taking it. Grab some shares there, right around $2. It's now back down to taking some profit when it gets to that 180, 190. It gets to this 165, 170. Certainly going to be taking a bunch more out. I'm down to a third of my Twitter position because that 40.50 is holding. I don't want to say rather nicely because I would like to see us actually jump off. The only good thing about this, if it does consolidate here, it gives us a bit of a base of operations to push a little bit higher. 3 days in a row. There's a heck of a gap to fill on this name. Brendan.
Just checking on Wells Fargo here. Banks are strong to start, guys. Banks higher on the day, 2% here for WFC. Just popped up on a volume scanner, guys.
All right, NEO's falling down here, so this may be the day that it does not want to retrace back high side. So that's fine. We're still in this one. We did have some orders out. We did not get hit, though. We got in the pre-market, remember. So that was a little bit of a problem. We did re-engage the long down there. So we're fine. Our average price is 33.10 now. We're going to give it basically to the bottom here, 32.50 or so. I think this is well worth the risk here as we're watching NEO go back to the upside. PayPal falling down a little bit. Everything else making money. Look at Jack's, guys. 25 cents in the money. That's a hot dogger.
Yeah, let's go to the downside here. As far as targets, all I said was a 475, but obviously $5 is going to be a bit of resistance as well. I reloaded in BBG. Going to be having that one. Going to get to that in just a quick second here. But I wanted to make sure we got back over to Twitter. It is now breaking up, so the consolidation at 50 is a good one. Next levels to the upside. I mean, look, obviously it's going to be psychological ones at 41. But if you start to get really, really frisky, the top end at 41.80, that would be a good target ultimately. I think there's a secondary push and break there because there was a lot of chop 2 days ago between 41.80 and 42. So if we get that high, that's the only place I'd start thinking about shorting Twitter again.
Now, we're just hammering Twitter and getting, big trade for Twitter, man. We told you about that, and look at this. I gave you Twitter early at 40.20. That was one of the bangers. So there it is, bang for you right there. NEO going back to the upside. We're back into the money now again, so let's get some out. Boom, and here we go, guys. It just keeps on going for us here. What a last couple weeks for us that we've been having, man. Our average price on NEO, 33.06. We picked some up on the downside and just getting out here for profits now to the upside. So what a monster NEO's been for us here in the last little while as it just keeps on ripping up and we just keep putting that money back into our pockets. So a good trade here on NEO. I don't know if it's going to fade it back out or not, but that's just the recipe, man. Let it fall back down, pick it up, and then see what happens throughout the day. But right now, it looks like they're trying to sell it. Normally, that would have taken off right there. So really glad we got that out. What's up, Beep?
Bristol Myers, BMY, having quite the start to the day here. 3.7%, coming up to $62, top end of the range here on the daily chart. They had a psoriasis treatment that they're working on that met end goals in a late stage trial, guys, for Bristol Myers.
Bristol Myers, so we do like that one. Mentioned Li Auto here, guys. He did flush. I liked it to try to test higher before it came in. Similar to it's the reverse of the dip buy was what I was looking at. But we did talk about this. This was a name that you probably wanted to fade, relatively speaking. It couldn't get to its high. A big time flush into 22. If it comes back into about this 2280 is where it closed, 2288 into 23. That could be another place of resistance to sell a bit of a pop here on Li Auto. It is sort of sideways action in the market. I already took one reload in BBGI, but I'm ramped up and amped up to do it again if I get another shot at it, just so you guys can see here. Every time it tests up, it is sort of having trouble about 187 to 190, so I'm going to make sure I take some profit off there. If you're going to be aggressive in getting in and out of this trade, you should also be taking profits, not just piling into a position without taking anything, and then you're larger and larger when it eventually breaks up, if it does.
And you want to talk about being larger and larger. Look at this, guys. There goes NEO again. So Supermaning this stock like crazy right now is NEO. We did get out of our PayPal. That was a loser. Unfortunately, we got out at the very bottom. I got to not use these very bottoms as my out, but out for a third there for $1, and then out the last 2/3 for basically a $4 hit. So that one's a loser there. We've made just as much money, hopefully, on NEO if this wants to keep on going. My last out there, 32. We're long at 32.99, so basically 33 even as we continue to go upside here on NEO. Everything else working out for us, man. 52 cents. So we're going to go 2 for 3 on our early calls. Twitter, bang to the upside, big win on this one. Monster win on this one. And then NEO, even a bigger win on NEO as we're ripping to the high side right now. So yeah, we're celebrating today. It's been definitely a good day. I hope you're with us. Take out that stick, guys, but don't use it too often as this is election day. Let's go, NEO. What's up, B?
Yeah, lots of opportunities early on here, guys. If anyone's looking at this Alaska Communications, ALSK, that's not the chart, but ALSK, if you look at it on the NASDAQ, that's a buyout, $300 million deal. ALSK for, looks like $3 per share in cash. If anyone's looking at that, doing some volume this morning, guys.
It is a small one at only 300 million, and size matters when it comes to those. It's okay, but it's trading above the price. They have a 30-day go shop period. That I think that's why you're getting some ramp up. Solar Edge, we talked about this name. It just started to roll over. There was a big break to the bottom here. Couldn't catch everything at once, and it did break 213. It's short sell restricted. So you need an uptick to be able to hit that bid. So it can be tricky to pile into a short. I did catch it on the way back in here. I got 211.5. Obviously, I would have liked it on the way down, and that would have given you a nice $10 winner. But it is what it is. When selling short tail restricted, not always easy to get that initial fill. Twitter hasn't pulled back yet, but I do have my eyeballs on this one. On the off chance it gives you, and of course, there we go, Twitter. On the off chance it gives you a bit of a bounce play back at 40.50, which also happens to be VWAP. That doesn't matter too much to me. But that 40.50 area had some sideways action, took some profit out there, took some more out in front of 75. 41 has not broken, but I think if there's a second move to the upside, 40.50 would be the bounce and dip buy that I'd be looking to play.
Okay, man. I mean, we're back into PayPal. It does break 178. I tested it one more time. We did get long just ahead of VWAP right here. We're going to drop it if it breaks through 176.50 or so right about here. So we may get out of this one very soon. PayPal, on a move up in the NASDAQ, it's great. But other than that, man, right now we're stuck at 177.90. It's been a loser for us today. It hasn't moved that much. I don't expect a lot of you guys to have traded this yet. But I still like PayPal. Let's see if it gets going here just a little bit, Mr. Wicken.
Another one that has been strong, hasn't done much as well yet today, but Plug Power here we were talking about yesterday, another 5.5% for Plug. No additional headlines today, but the group's strong as well. So 1650 up here, top end for Plug Power, guys.
I missed an opportunity on that one the last couple of days here in Plug. I just want to quickly go over to, I don't know that we talked about AMC since the open here, but it did just sort of grind higher up to that 260 area, which we were looking at 250 to 260, but also making a bit of a pullback and bouncing on some higher lows. So a little more strength than I had expected in AMC. When you go out to the higher time frame, as I know Brendan did, you do look right here. It was like 258, 260. So there is a reversal at a key price already, and I think maybe that's the reason to go short. But 260 would be a bit of a hard stop for me. I don't like hard stops, but got to take a look at that one. It's a little stronger than I expected AMC.
Yeah, and guys, we are just like destroying NIO right now, guys. Like, this is a huge trade for us. It just keeps on rocking and rolling here, making moves to the upside. Big time trade on NEO today. Huge, and a huge trade on Twitter. Our PayPal's dancing again, so we're going to have to wait to see what we want to do on PayPal. I don't know, man. It's probably going to break to the downside one more time. We'll see if it tests 174.80. Again, we're back long here, right at VWAP, but now it's coming back to the downside. So this name gets a couple price upgrades, but not a great quarter. And I don't know. I keep going long on it. And again, I said that I didn't want my bias in the stock to take effect, but it looks like it is. We've only been long this name that just keeps on going down. So we are negative on this name today. The only one. I mean, everything else is rocking and rolling. This JAKK right now, this is a huge one for us. This is 30 cents down and keeps going. So that's a nice little trade there. NEO is just an absolute, like, we have a dollar winner right here on NEO. The cash cow continues. This has been the most profitable stock on the show for, I believe, either one of us for the last little while. NEO, big time move to the upside, and we destroyed it again, guys. And yeah, I don't feel bad about it. And either Twitter as well, we gave this one to you at 40.20. I mean, just hit the rewind button and you'll see what we're talking about. We're cooking up winners all day, every day, right here on Trader TV Live, guys.
Yeah, cooking up a little bit of sausage over there. I don't know what's going on in that little barbecue, but I like the hat, that's for sure. AMC, that 260 we talked about, just got into position, so a new position alert here. As it tries to roll over and hold that level, took a couple of legs in. I want to give myself some room that if it turns at 250 as well, we can pick up some more. But that 260, when you look at it on the daily chart, a bit of a line in the sand. I don't think that obviously, it was not good earnings for them, but they're popping to the upside here, I guess. Not as bad as people expected. I'm still looking at a dip buy opportunity here in Twitter. We're going to take a shot at it if we get it. It just hasn't really given you much of anything down around this 50 mark to really dig in. Should have had it a little bit earlier here, but I wasn't watching it until a couple minutes ago. Brennan, what's up there, bud?
Another Chinese name, guys, trying to benefit maybe from this BABA news, but Pinduoduo trying to take out 95 here on decent volume. Did actually test above it, but right back down. So PDD just popping up on a volume scanner, guys.
I mean, we just got out of NEO for $1.10 or so win on that one. Okay, PayPal, again, like, if we just held our positions, we'd be fine. It's just, look how choppy this is, and I wish I could take off executions, but we've made a bottom down here to 175, a top of 179, and now just bouncing. So I'm going to go long one more time on a 178.50 break. We are flat right now, so we don't have to worry about this trade, but this is one that I don't want to give up. I still think we take out the high side. I mean, I've done this before, man. Like, I've gotten into Twilio, into NVIDIA, into Wayfair and taken like $6-7, and then the things went 20. So I don't see any reason why PayPal can't get its legs back into it, and then we go long through 178.50. So let's wait on that one. Twitter kind of pulling back from 41, but I told you this name was way overbought, sold coming into this. You can see the daily chart here. So we hammered Twitter long off the open. We actually got in before the open even happened. I wish we didn't get this piece out. I don't like going in when there's a whole bunch of chaos, but we did get a little piece out, and now we're holding that 10% to the high side. And by the way, NEO still $1 in the money, Jack 34 cents in the money, BBGI 5 cents in the money, and then AMC 6 cents out of the money.
Yeah, I mean, AMC, I just got into that party after it failed the key level there. But I got to go. You mentioned Wayfair very, very quickly there, Sean. Wayfair, remember, came all the way back in off positive earnings, turned negative, and then just bounced off 246. So a little bit of unexpected action. It might have made a bit of a low here. Watching this 264 level, I think it might run into resistance, give you a bit of a pullback, and then I'd be looking to dip buy back at that 255 that we were talking about earlier. So if Wayfair has made a bottom, hopefully it gives me a shot at 255. Brendan, what's up there, buddy?
Another one from the solar group just popping up here. SPWR, Sun Power. We've traded this in the past on this run up, I believe it was on the daily chart here. Very strong though today, right to 18. Kind of holding here, top end of the daily charts for SPWR, guys.
There's just so much volume on NEO, man. We just got out again at 56. So now we're holding 10% of NEO. We're holding 10% of Twitter. We still got our Jack. I think we should get out of this Jack, though. It goes down as low as 515. We'll see about getting out of that one. And we're still waiting for PayPal to take out the high side there. Let's check out Mr. Softy. That was really funny when, I forget who it was, sent over that Mr. Softy ice cream truck. That was really hilarious, actually. But look at Softy today. We reloaded up at 201.11 the other day. Oh, DraftKings. I wrote down DraftKings. I wanted 36.75. Oh, shoot. We snapped through 36.75 there. We bought DraftKings the other day as well. We tweeted these all out, 35 and change for DraftKings. Now it's up to 37, so we definitely like that. I liked 36.75 break, so damn it. I mean, it's right on here, guys. I don't know if you can see this. This is that list that you all want me to tweet. There's NEO, CCL. We got to check out CCL. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another one from yesterday just popping up here. DBVT. Remember that interlisted name from over in Europe? Just trying to break the high here. 195, big level from yesterday as well. So heads up on DBVT. Don't think we can trade it again, guys.
Yeah, we can trade it over in Paris, where its primary listing is. It is a French ADR, guys. So I mean, obviously, if you do see us jump into that one, it is going to be in the Paris market. I'm going to take more shares off of Jax. It did not quite get to 5 even, where I did have a bid out there. So we just got some there at 20s. Again, like 30-40 cent wins are good. I just really think it has a shot, and it's been grinding down. Hasn't been able to sustain any of these pops except for at the open into 550. So if it does continue, 475 previous close, 5 even, a couple of levels to work off of. Gotta watch out for AMC. It did get it to that 250 mark. That's where I wanted to pick up a few more shares. Already starting to do so as it tries to roll over here, but 260 firm out for me on AMC. Again, just a bad report. I feel like at some point we should level off and start to head back southbound. And all it has to do is retest some of the pre-market bottoms, and we'll be looking pretty nice on that. Still working that solar edge. It has to break below 210. I got it at 11.5 here, but 216 was the top end of that one. Now, keeping in mind Solar Edge, the range on this is going to be a little different from some of the other names you're going to watch. The gap is a $60 gap. So obviously you got to give it a little bit more room. You can see how tight the trade has been since the open. We wanted this breakdown. We did catch it on the way back up. Just looking for it to roll over back towards the 200 low. Brennan, what's up, bud?
A little more positive talk coming out about this one. Plug Power. Just remember November 9th, they have earnings, so they haven't reported yet, but a little more positive talk coming out this morning about what's to come as far as earnings. Right at 17 here for Plug, guys.
Okay, we did go back into PayPal 178.70. Like, I thought I got I don't know. I guess the spread is huge. So we are long right now, 178.70, and taking some out. Now, 70 cents in the money. We just took some out there. So there we go. A nice little win here for PayPal. Thank God we waited for that 178. A little more patient there required. And our best out, 179.50. That's a smooth dollar. Well, I guess not. It was $1 on our target, but then we got hit and had to pay a 30-cent spread there for you. So we'll wait on that one. one, but a nice out for sure on the high side. Our best out today, 180 basically, 179.96. But here we go, guys. We're back long PayPal again, 178.70, and making all of that money back as we take on our largest position right now on that break. Let's see if we take out the high of the day here. PayPal, nice little win once again for that one. Thank God we made that money back because we did step on ourselves a little bit here with some small cuts. But here we go, loaded back up, and here's $1 for you.
There you go, and we'll Slay Dragons, PayPal over there. BBG, I'm going to throw some orders out just so I can, it's not that I don't want to pay attention to it, it's just that now that it's starting to slide back down, it's tested a couple times. I've done the reloads that I'll do, and now we just want to see it slide into profitability. It did break down to 180 a couple of times and hold. Once that breaks, I do have some orders down to this 165 that we were talking about earlier. So a good one here that is working in the money for us. Brandon, what's up, buddy?
Another one that was very active yesterday, this Digital Ally popping up again here, just broke $3 there on decent volume. So watch out for this 315, 320 area. Resistance late in the day for DGLY. No news on that, guys.
Guys, I love hearing everything from you guys. Like DraftKings, we've been talking about buying that on the low side, and then here it is, man, 36.75 right there. We put that out there. There's our PayPal 174. That was a good, forget it, you can't see that. Those were good ones as well. So there goes DraftKings. Bang! Anybody long DraftKings, let's go. And then I'm also getting some love on the chat here. And Greg, what's up, Greg? Look at Palantir today, guys. Another runner for us. We're long this one, 960. We gave this one to you to put into your long-term account as well. So Palantir making money for everybody here. So good little trade there. We got to look at Alibaba, man. But right now, BBGI, a nice 15-cent win. So look, I'm trading everything. Small caps, mid caps, low, whatever, micro caps, PayPal. There goes PayPal, 90 cents now into the money on that one. Twitter, $1 in the money. Neo, $1 in the money. Some company named Jack, 30 cents in the money. Look, right now we're holding all winners, so it's been a good one for us. So today, we feel a little Superman-ish. Coming up very soon, guys, happening now. You don't want to miss out that. You can see what's going on in all the markets. And right now, Biden or Trump, whoever they think is going to win, the market likey as we go right back to the high side right now. What a big day this has been. Congratulations to everybody that's trading some of these names that we're on, man. There goes PayPal, $1.25 now in the money and still keeps rolling. Yes, sir. A few early mistakes made it all back. Let's go, B. What up?
Another one with earnings, guys, from the biotech group. This is not ESPR. I'll shift over real quick to ESPR. Esperion Therapeutics reported better than expected results. They also got a couple of price target increases, couple of price target decreases, depending on the analyst of your choice. But ESPR, big time downside here, 10.9% at 26, guys.
Okay. New position alert here. Alibaba double bottom here out off that 280 level. It never actually got to 280. You got 281 the first time, 280.78 the second time, but it retraces through that 285. I just triggered in, got it at 02s here. Let's see if it can't get back first to that 87 price that was key, and then maybe retest that 92 to 93 area where I actually initially was looking for a short that was a very, very small win. Let's see if the long is better. I mean, the market is with us here. Just keep in mind, separate news here in Alibaba, of course, as the Ant Financial is not a small deal. It would have been the biggest IPO. Well, as Brendan mentioned, it's just postponed or suspended, whichever word you want to use here. There's still a decent chance that this does happen. They got a 33% stake, and either way, it's going to be gigantic when it does happen.
Yep, we are loving Alibaba. We are loving everything right now, including, guys, PayPal. We just took out $1.40 out at 180.24. $1.40. No, that's wrong. It's even higher than that. What am I talking about? It was PayPal there. $1.63 there on the high side win for Alibaba. So a nice trade there. We're going to hold the last bit. We've still got our 10% on, so don't get that twisted. We're still holding Alibaba for a nice little long. We got out of our Jack trade there at 25. That's a ho-hum 30-cent win right there. PayPal going. Twitter, look what we have on right now. This is $1 in the money, this Twitter trade, right? $1 in the money, long at 40.21, and only took it one time. This Alibaba is $1.40 in there. Sorry, PayPal's $1.40 in the money. And here we go. Neo, $1.10 in the money for Neo, guys. Today, man, it is just one of those days where we take the wheelbarrow and we just roll it through right into your living room, right into your office. Let's go, Brendan. What's up,
not terribly exciting, guys, but Freeport, FCX, 52-week highs today, heading towards election results. So we cleared that last little hurdle on the daily chart. 1870, no news related to this outside of the election, obviously, but FCX 52-week highs, guys.
And we just talked about that 285 break in Alibaba. We get the $2 win right away. Now head towards that 292. Again, we can trail this one back to break even if we'd like. Not going to do that. Going to give it a little bit of room here just because I think we've got a good price at 85s. And there's a good chance we might retest that 292 area from the pre-market. There was a couple of reasons why I liked it the first time on the first dip. Before this was double barrel action in terms of the postponement. It was at 293, and then it rolled over at that same price. So we got a good target on for this one. We're going to keep on with Alibaba to the long side. BBGI just broke 180 again. I still needed to get down towards that 165 target for me to take some more shares out of that one, guys.
I want to say a big thank you so much to Manny, the master at work. Manny D, what up, my friend? I'm going to be here every day, so you don't have to worry about that. We got lots of winners to come for you, lots of winners to come tomorrow. Every day we're going to be here. Look at PayPal, $2 now in the money to the high side. So a nice little win there for sure. Neo still going. Everything's still making moves. DraftKings as well. Wow. Hopefully you guys are on this name, man. We talked about this 36.75. I don't have it, but that was a good win. Hopefully you guys do. Plug Power making moves as well. Like, you can't go wrong longing Neo, and it looks like you can't go wrong longing Plug Power as well. Nice move, breaking out through the top. I'm really pissed off because I told you that it would have been a great opportunity to dig in to some Alibaba down here, 280s. I thought the very bottom was going to be 260. If the show ends, I can't put positions on while I'm on the show. There's compliance reasons for that, so we're going to wait, and I just hope that, after the show I can get something again down here on Alibaba. Thank you, Miss V. Can't feel my hands, but the trades don't matter right now because we're putting them on, hands or not, and we've got big winners everywhere today, guys. Hope you're enjoying the show. What up?
Yeah, recapping Twitter here, guys. It did make a bit of a pullback here, but still testing and holding above 41. So this one's going to be about $1 in the money. There's such a massive gap to refill here that I just feel like it's worth hanging on to. We did talk about some target areas, 41.80, of course, being that one. So if it gets up to that price, I'll go ahead and lock in almost a couple of bucks and start to think about where that next level can be. Watch out for SolarEdge. 220 is the pre-market high, so that's what we want to give it to. 200 was that resistance level. It's about a $20 range, and that's rather small compared to the gap fill that it did have a little bit earlier, but you have to be willing to hang on to this one for at least about $10 here. I think if it breaks 200, there is a massive floor below that one. I'll give Twitter back to about 40.75 on a trailing stop because I look at 40.50 and still want to be a buyer down there. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
One that had news yesterday, guys. Farfetch just popping up again. 4.25% here for FTCH. Broke 33 there. Volume starting to come in for FTCH, guys.
All right, I'm going to go with 40.79 or so on a break here of Twitter, just in case it does break back down. View up is right there, so we'll hold that one. Twitter's been my biggest, Alibaba. I don't know. Neo and Twitter are both like neck to neck with P&L right now. So we're really happy with the way those ones are pairing off. PayPal, still down on PayPal, obviously. We will wait to see here if that is something that can happen, though, for PayPal. It looks like it's already made its top there. Let's look to get out if it does break back down below. We did have a great trade there. That's $1.53 in the money. If PayPal breaks below this one, 179.50, we're going to get out of that. But we'll take the smooth dollar and then work around it from there, guys.
Absolutely. Just want to come back to AMC. I know we're not neglecting this stock, but if it's not going to be moving, I actually like this. If you talk about sustaining a push to the upside, it was poor earnings. It was a negative number there, negative numbers. Obviously, everyone expected losses, so let's put things into perspective. Once we break this little level at 240, that's when we start to think about taking profits. 260 is going to be out, just to recap for those of you that weren't paying attention. AMC all over our watch list. I don't think I've traded anything that isn't on the watch list today, but certainly going to be involved in most of those names. The exception here, and I said I was taking a bottom break on CCL, as you can see. Carnival to the upside, so negative news, I guess it doesn't matter. Carnival just pushed all the way to 14 even here. At some point, I want to be fading this one. I'm looking at this level. There was a breakup yesterday. It made a move in the afternoon off some positive headline. And turn around around this 1430 area. If it rolls over there, maybe that's going to be worth a short. Might be more of a lunchtime type play to pull a retracement in Carnival, though.
I see some people talking about Rocket Mortgage. Okay, we'll get into that in a minute. NEO still looking to see how high. So we're in this one, $1. We're long at 32.78 down here. Great little pickup, out, all the way to the high side. I'm still looking to go long NEO, breaking through 34.11. Rocket Mortgage, I love Palantir, by the way. We're going to look at that in a minute as well. Rocket Mortgage, wow, big move to the upside. I'm guessing this is probably an upgrade. Brendan's at the board, so we'll ask him after. But Rocket Mortgage up 5% today. Check out a daily chart on this one. Not really near any levels that we've seen like in the last couple of days, but we are back up right now. $20.15 looks like a good spot right now. Twitter up $1, NEO up $1, BBGI 21 cents, and AMC just about that 8 cents. So we're still looking to get into some other trades. What about Apple? I bigged up my kid the other day for getting in at about, 104, 105 on the close. So good little trade there. Now going to 108, 109. So that's a nice little one there. Apple today to the high side could take this out 110. Actually like Apple on a 110 break. Wow, there goes JP Morgan. We talked about possibility of a Trump win. You saw oil. Now today you're seeing JP Morgan going back to the high side. And again, every single time, and those of you that have watched the show know that I keep putting buys on JP Morgan every time that we're down in here, 96, 97. So I'm not reloaded. I'm already loaded up, man. I was lucky enough to get some in the 80s and then just kept buying down here in the mid to low 90s. So now we're up to 103. I'm going to hold this one and give this one to my kids.
If you guys are watching up for some of the bank stocks, keep in mind here that any kind of infrastructure deals, it doesn't matter which party wins. I mean, infrastructure is probably going to be in play. That is good for the banks. That's always been a positive when you see that kind of a stimulus come back, especially infrastructure. That's good for steepening the yield curve for them guys. So fundamentally speaking, that could be a place to start thinking about, regardless of who wins today, the banking sector. So I definitely like that call there, Sean. I'm just watching. Alibaba's pulling back a little bit here, but we have to get back to Wayfair because it felt like to me this one had sold off a little bit too far. We talked about maybe picking some up if it did give a play through and consolidate through that 255, boom rather quickly through. But now we're pulling right back into that range. If it bounces to the upside, I want to long off of a higher low here, somewhere around 58, 60. Maybe give it back to that 255 area. So Wayfair, I mean, it went up to $300 on positive earnings. Came into negative on the session. It's trying to hold the previous close price, which we think is a key one. But for now, it's 10 o'clock. Wowzers. Time to go to the big screen. Brendan, happening now.
Half an hour in the books. Let's go to the board here and check out North American markets. Nicely positive. Once again, 1.5% for the S&P. The Dow leading 2 days in a row for the Dow, 1.8%. You can see NASDAQ nicely higher anyways, 1.3, 1.2 for the 100. The composite, the Russell as well, 1.6% to the upside. They're buying up election day. TSX here in Toronto, 1.09%. Brazil open, 1.7% to the upside. You get the trend here. Nicely higher. Let's go through a couple of things from the watch list, guys. If you haven't done so yet, sign up for the watch list. Absolutely free to you. 57 here on RCL. Yes, the news was negative, but gave you a nice clean break there of 57 all the way up to 58.75. Good move for RCL. If you missed it, if you didn't join us at 9 o'clock this morning, both Carnival and Royal joining Norwegian, postponing resumption of operations until the end of the year. Here's Carnival. Through that high was 1360, 1365. Tagged 14 at the top there, pulling back a little bit for CCL. Li Auto was the other one. Interesting move. I had this level down here around 22 marked off from a couple of weeks back. And look what happened here. We bounced immediately off that 22 level. We're all the way back above 23. So yes, a bit of a flush at the open here to the downside, but trying to hold higher here above 23 for Li Auto. Guys, back over to you.
All right, yeah, things are going nuts. I see everybody talking about Fastly. I love Fastly down here in the 60s. I think this is a great opportunity to buy a cheap tech company, on the cheap, obviously. Let's put this back here to a 3-minute. I like 69 and change. It needs to go further than that. Yeah, it's up here. No, it's even higher. Here it is. Here it comes, right here. 69.10, 69.20. If we're going to look longer term here, this is a nice break. 70, but I was more looking, guys, right right about here. This little high that they made, 69.16 on Fastly. It's not too far away, guys. Up 4 and a bit % as this market just keeps on rocking. PayPal comes out, but look where we are now, man. 181. It came out on that break. Like, it doesn't even break, and I get out. So this should be like a $3 winner there for PayPal. I'm disgusted that the only negative stock is PayPal, and we've been going long the whole time, and now we're at the very highs. So PayPal, if you just listen to me, good for you. Hopefully you didn't get out when I did. All we've been doing is going long on PayPal, and look where we are right now, high side for sure. Twitter just keeps on ripping. We talked about this. This is the one that I really feel like Superman for, because we gave this one to you. I told you that I thought it was oversold, and there it is. Big win central right there for Twitter, man. Just keep on riding the high side on all these tech stocks, guys.
Yeah, it's up towards, Twitter's up towards that 41.80, which was my target to get out. Now, as it rolls into this price, I'm going to move my trail up here just in case it rolls over. This is close enough that it's like within spitting distance. I don't want to give it back below this 41.50. We're only 20 cents away from my target. So lock in minimum about $1.50 worth of profit. It was that 40 break to the upside that we're looking at, 40.20 technically speaking. But I don't want to throw away the profit here when I anticipated we could run into resistance very, very closely, guys. So Twitter, I'm just going to take it off. We'll take $1.50 on that one. Going to be pleased with this return. Now, we're shorting it for a couple of days in a row here to mixed results. And one of the reasons why was didn't have good enough defined exit points. I think today was structurally in the long a little bit easy to work with. I wanted to quickly jump back into Wayfair here for you guys, because it's not really, like, I wanted to see this thing break back above 255, hold above, and then get some legs under it. I'm just a little bit surprised by the weakness here. So the conditions just aren't there for the long. And what Sean said a little bit earlier, not a day to force the issue. I don't have to buy Wayfair and try a long in it and force it if I don't have to. So I'm just going to stay away from Wayfair here a little bit and go back to Alibaba for you. This one's been a good one. We lined this one up and knocked it out with a couple of nice wins. However, we're not quite to that 292, and we bounced off the VWAP. We're testing back up here. Might be a little bit greedy with this. I'm surprised, as strong as the market is, that there isn't a little bit more buying here in Alibaba. This deal could still go through. In fact, I would say Ant's going to get listed sort of one way or another, and Alibaba's not getting rid of their third stake. So should be a good one here. I'm looking for 292. I want my $7. Brandon, what's up, buddy?
I know it was right at the open, guys, and it was kind of crazy, but I did mention that the language changed there right at the open. It's suspension now that they're using, not postponement. So both Hong Kong and Shanghai using the word suspension now instead of postponement, whatever that means. We'll figure it out as it happens. I wanted to mention this one as well. SUP, one that was on the radar yesterday. Better than expected earnings yesterday for this little one. SUP up 1.5%. Again today, trying to test this 210 high. Guys.
All right. Yeah, I mean, and I already tweeted that out earlier, how much I loved. That was well before the suspension there. We did love Alibaba. I thought it was a great opportunity to get more shares or get into a long if it did fade out. So, like I said, I'm hoping that it can still stay a little low, although it doesn't want to do that. It doesn't look like here. For the most part, it wants to stay high side. And PayPal, guys, look, it makes me super happy. I'm seeing everything in here. Sean's a beast, so on and so forth on here. Everybody loves this. PayPal, thanks for the Twitter and the PayPal calls. You're welcome. You're welcome for BBGI. Everything, guys, man. Look, it's been a fantastic show, and I just want everybody to make as much money as possible, whether or not that be shorting, long, whatever you want. And I'm just glad that you guys believed in this PayPal as well, and that you were able to take that long. And then Twitter, and just like we did Tesla yesterday as well, another big call there for Tesla yesterday, breaking through 400, and you can see where that is right now, 420 or so.
Guys, iceberg alert here. Sorry to interrupt her. Iceberg alert at 290. You see this double top on Alibaba here? So look, my target was 292. I talked about it not being as strong as I anticipated here, but either way, I see an iceberg on my level 2. Someone piling into selling at that 290 price. That is initially where it bounced on the first news to the downside in the pre-market. So it's not necessarily a random price. It's enough for me to take my $5 and run. Check that, a little bit less than $5 because I caught it at 89. Actually, on the south side here, I had to get out of it aggressively. So only $3, 320 on this. Maybe it does still go. I think that 292 to 294 range is the next resistance point to the upside there on Alibaba if it wants to continue. But you gotta like the double bottom here at 280. It was a good break at 285. We'll have a nice win here and just walk away from this one for now. Profitable. I do want to jump over to and just update you guys on positions. You'll see them all these names on our watch list. You'll see all the positions on the bottom of the board there, so you guys can follow. But that BBGI, I still have targets down here towards that 165. Short in, every single short I've had has been in front of that $2 well, on the $2 consolidation, and then right when it fails, every single test of that $2. So if it gets down to 65, I should and will only have about 20% of my position left. And that's usually where I like to go when I have my target hit. I shouldn't have too much more than that, or I've done something a little bit wrong here. It is starting to fall again. That's why I'm looking at this one. And if it does make a strong base at 165 and bounce back up, good place for a trailing stop, even though I have not used one yet.
Yo, what's up from Abu Dhabi? I want to say what's up to you as well. There it is, watching from Abu Dhabi. Y'all are awesome. Good one there, yes. Thank you, Abu Dhabi. Beautiful. I've never been, but would love to go there as well. So, yeah, everybody got LCA. We'll look at that. Amazon. I mean, everything going absolutely ham today. Those of you that were able to buy off of some of the calls there, congratulations, because you're well. I mean, like, look at Apple, man. We talked about buying Microsoft the other day. We tweeted that out at 201. What's that at right now? 206, bang. The winners just keep on coming. What up, B?
Just saw this move in Lordstown, guys. Ride here on the NASDAQ, 15%. Just broke $15 there to the upside. Brown, Gibbons, Lang and Company, which is an investment bank, taking a stake, it looks like, valued at $1.6 billion here in Lordstown Motors. Going to keep reading this, but investment bank jumping in on Lordstown, guys.
Sorry, what did you say the stake was in dollars?
I'm going to double check, but give me 2 seconds. I'll confirm.
Okay, just want to check what the numbers might be on that one. I mean, Lordstown, a little frustrating because I was looking at this one for a bit of a bounce play a couple of times here, and now it's finally making some legs. And it's been, since coming over, not exactly the ride to the upside as you might have expected. Maybe the bottom just got put in at 13. That's certainly big news here. And got to watch out for a 1550 level. That's one to pay attention to. So far, I was about to say it, but I can knock on fake wood here. Haven't had a losing trade just yet, but I want to go over to AMC. I said this one. Certainly, I wanted to wait for a test of levels, and I wrote down in my hard rules over here. I wish I could sort of show it to you, which is wait for it to test the level you're watching in terms of a stock and don't get in too early. I still maybe got some shares a little bit early on the way up, but the fact that it does test this level here, it's like 258, bottom, top, hold below, gaps into that. Once it fails, so what? If you don't have a price that's right there at 260, I feel like the person that shorts it at 260, that's gambling. When it fails at a key level like that, I think that's when you want to jump into some shorts. I just took a little bit of profit off, and I said would take nothing off until it broke 240 to the downside. Now that it has got some at 237, I should have some more bids in here because that pre-market bottom down around 215, that'd be the ultimate out, but that's an overnight print. The real bottom is down at 222. This is an overnight dark pool print, guys, so ignore that. 222, the real bottom. That's my target.
Okay, yeah, we've been trading a little bit of Bitcoin, but not doing too much. That's GBTC there as well. We're just watching Twitter. Oh, the out on Twitter, I just got one, 4130, basically right here. I mean, this is just how I trade. You got to look at charts for something, and there we go, 4130, just sort of where we got that last little leg upside. We are starting to come off a little bit, so I think if I can get Twitter back here, I mean, just depends. Will this market keep on going or not? That's ultimately the question that we all want to know. And if we knew that answer, then we probably wouldn't be sitting here. Or if I would be, I'd be using probably 10 times the shares. 4165 is the high side. I think it's worth holding that. Twitter's been an absolute beast today. I hope all of you have that. Where's PayPal? Still 182.30, looking like it may want to roll over here. This could be a good spot as well. 181 if you still have that. Some of the calls down here my very first call, 179, obviously a good one up to 184. And then we were buying again at VWAP here, 177. So PayPal PayPal's been a good ride so far today, and I hope you guys have taken advantage of that. If not, okay. JP, like me, JP Morgan here today, obviously with a big move high. I may sell some today. I mean, I'm long. I think my average price is 86 or 87. This may be worth here a sell. I just keep collecting. The dividend's about 3.4%, so it's a good one. And if you're going to be in a bank, why not be in best of breed? I do like high side break of 104, but we are coming back down right now. So I don't know. I mean, if we can defend this 103, we'll take a long in here. But I just think this market pretty extended today. I don't want to take, I mean, it's only 10-12. We're positive. It's been a good day. But I just, unless we start hearing some more polls coming in or something, we don't believe the polls. So I don't know what's going to make me change my mind. But really, this market is a big surprise for me today. Didn't think the NASDAQ would be up 1.5%.
Monster surprise. And to be perfectly honest, like there's a part of me that wants to hear what Arun starts to think about something. We're getting up to 2% here, really? And I'd like to see what his thoughts are in the market. But I got to jump back over to Jax. We talked about taking profits down around 5 even. It never, there was this one dip down to 513, and now it's starting to bounce back to the upside. If this thing breaks 580, this was an earnings play to the upside, guys. And I feel like this is 2 strong legs up, and I did do 1 reload here. And if I reload in front of our level and it comes back in, I'm supposed to scalp off 15 or 20 cents. I didn't do that. That's sloppy on my part. But I'm going to get out at 580 because I don't want to turn negative on this stock when it gave me all the opportunity in the world to get out. And now it's coming back upside on good volume, and that's a key thing there. Speaking of a key thing, upgrades and downgrades are definitely important, and Brendan's got them for you at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's get you a few more symbols to have a look at so far today. We're seeing a trend where you get earnings one day and then the next day there's a whole bunch of analyst moves on stocks. Clorox upgraded today, was earnings yesterday. Another one down here, Skyworks, upgraded today, still down significantly though, 4+% earnings yesterday for Skyworks. Monster Energy and Paycom on this side. Mosaic, an interesting chart. I'll show you that in a second. PACB, I looked at that right off the bat this morning, popped up on a volume scanner, kind of died off pretty quick though. And Wingstop downgraded once again, about 3 times, I want to say, in the past month or so for Wingstop. CLX here down a full percent. It's been a bit of a choppy mess. Through 215 was really maybe your only option, down to 213 for Clorox on the downgrade. Mosaic, this actually out aftermarket. You can see big flush. 1660 ended up being the bottom there, consolidating right at day lows for Mosaic. Yeah, ugly. 12.6%, guys. Back to you.
All right, so we messaged Captain Pew Pew, and hopefully he'll be here very soon. He'll come by and we'll get his opinion there. Okay, we'll see. I don't know if Captain Pew Pew has anything on Twitter, but right now, 41.82, guys. We just keep on ripping up. I see everybody talking here that they've made rent money, everything like that on Twitter, so good job there. Thank you, and thanks, Brendan, right there from Ron Huang for the summary there. Thank you so much. There it is, Pew Pew. Yeah, you're right. Let's get him on and see what he's doing as far as the futures are concerned right now. But Twitter's still making high side moves. I'm going to adjust my stop probably to right here, man, 41.60. This is a monster trade for me, and it's just carrying the day. What's up, B?
So this Lordstown thing, guys, is the finalization of the deal between the actual SPAC, which was Diamond Peak, if you remember, and Lordstown. So $1.6 billion for the entire transaction. It's supposedly going to free up about $675 million in proceeds for Lordstown, which they're going to use towards the production of the Endurance, which is that pickup truck that everyone's been looking at. This brown BGL, they acted as just the financial advisors to finalize that deal, guys, for Lordstown.
Thanks, Brandon. This is why you got to have a clarification, because the second you threw that number out there, and I'm like, that's way too big for a stake. Certainly, that's what it's all about. When Brendan gets you the news, don't ever trade blind if you don't have to. If you're not sure about something, dig into it a little bit deeper. Or if you're like us, ask Brendan and he'll give you an answer. Twitter here talked about 41.80, and I love that long into this level because I have this addiction and some of you call it shorting, 41.80 to 42.30. And this was a bit of a chop zone here. It just is on the 15-minute. Maybe I should zoom in so you can see a little bit better here, guys. This was a chop zone on the way down. It held this a couple of sessions ago. And then this was an opening range, sort of a bottom at yesterday's level. That's why I like 41.80. But the top of that is 42.30. If it does not break through the top of that zone and starts to roll over, entry point anywhere in that range with a stop at the top. So that's the way I'd look for it. It has to consolidate or turn, and ideally within that 50 penny range, I'd like to see that happen. It really hasn't. It's only gone 9 cents above 41.80, so that's not a real test of this price area. I want to see it in this range and how it responds. And if it's a failure, I'm going to be shorting Twitter. If it breaks the top, it's got another breakout in it.
Yep. I mean, that's why we're holding for Twitter right now. We are $1.70 now in the money and waiting, obviously, for more on that move, as you can see here. I'm waiting for it to break that top. So BBGI, yeah, no easier trade. Congratulations. I saw Brendan absolutely crushed this trade. Great move here, BBGI. We're still in this. Probably should get out now, as it looks like it's coming back up. If it breaks 185, we'll be out of this one for only 15 cents, but was a much bigger winner. What up, B?
PDD, guys, talked about Pinduoduo earlier. Just broke 98 there. It was Goldman upgrading Pinduoduo today, guys.
Just watch out. This jack does continue to grind higher, guys. My out is going to be if it breaks to this level. You just look into post-market action. When it's earnings, like to see what levels hold on the way back in, and then if you have a corresponding level like this at about 580 in the pre-market, you can work off of it. It did just fail breakthrough, and I did say do not have hard stops at the exact pain. It's another rule I've tried to add to my list here. It does try to roll back over. If this does not plunge back down into that 520, 530 from here, it could stop me out. I'm not giving this one all the way to pre-market highs. There's just no way about it. Short here at 556 is an average price. If it breaks past, a few pennies past that 80 mark, I'll be all out of this one. Still going to stay positive on it because we took profits on the way down. I did want to, I said we'd be looking at ISIG today. It was a good short yesterday. It was a good short the day before. Nothing doing today. It needs to squeeze above $1. The market not going to help this thing out one bit. 110, we'd be shorting this one, but it looks like it's dead in the water. So that was one I thought I'd be trading today for the third day in a row. Unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to be the case, guys.
Okay, yeah, we're still waiting for Twitter here, and we're gonna have to find something else because we can't just keep looking at the same stuff. Square, and again, remember, this is just one of those things today where really we're just trying to, I'm just trying to lay a little bit low here and just wait because tomorrow is fireworks. We already know about what's happening tonight and tomorrow, so we're gonna wait to see. Square, big move backside there. We did see that they were getting involved last week with a buyout of Intuit there, some of the tax software. I thought that was a good move for them, but the market didn't, as they had to dilute probably some shares there. So not sure if that went down or not, but 158 and change here for Square looks to be a decent price, especially if this market keeps on rallying up. We come from 151. Just look where we came from, though, downside, guys. That's a big bottom there. I don't know if we should be going long anymore on the upside. This is a 3-minute chart. Let's bring this back to a 1-minute just so you can see how violent this move was from the bottom. 151 basically straight up. So 159.50 could be a good spot to fade this one. That is Square, guys.
Yeah, and just going back to Alibaba for a quick second here, I did get out. Maybe it shook me. Either way, I did see an iceberg. It was close enough to my target that we took our profit. It is now grinding towards that 92, 93 area that we were talking about before. I mean, 94 is the top end of that range. I think you're looking for a secondary break to get you to 300. Certainly, a higher low off this 280 range. That's another reason to maybe get into this one. If 280 eventually breaks, I think it was 264 was looking at to the downside, just to check my notes here. Yeah, about 264 would be, I mean, it's also obviously 10% down from that 290, which was a key area. But you go to the daily chart, and that's the other reason why it holds up. And I love when things like that align. 290 was the initial bounce point, 10%. Gets you right down, gets you right down into that sort of 260, 270 range. Then you also have the support at 264 on the daily chart. So lots of reasons why if 280 breaks, we have a level that I don't think we'll get to today. That seems a little crazy to me, but you want to be prepared. You never really know with this market. I mean, look how strong it is. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, yeah, let's jump back into small cap world. You've heard about them from everybody here. It's been one of those mornings. This one was pretty obvious, I think, in the pre-market. I want to talk about Jack here first. Just want to show you this 580 level. If you go to the daily chart, way back here, which was July, 580 was support for quite some time. Like I'm talking 2-3 weeks. It sat along 580. So 580 was kind of the level I was using based off of this kind of support in the aftermarket yesterday as well, which was right at that level. So nice little consolidation here. It was kind of rolling over as we got closer and closer to the open. So give you an opportunity there around 580 to grab some shares. Nice move down to $5, but the volume coming in bigger on the upside. The bigger point here. Let's see what happens this time as we're back to 580. This one as well, AMBO, 8%. They're teamed up with, this is an online software, educational software company. They teamed up with Cisco to do some work for them. So it did pop up significantly, $5, but was kind of trending back to the downside. Just couldn't get out of its own way once the market opened for AMBO. So that was a nice one. We'll shift over to BBGI. 210 up here, pretty obvious pivot in the pre-market. Would have added way more if it got closer to 210 there, but back down to 180, 175 for BBGI. I wanted to show AMC, but AMC, I just got rid of that because it was putting me to sleep. Did give that push to the high side, but coming back down now for AMC, guys. Back over to you.
I'm glad you mentioned it, Brendan. We'll go with Sun W still looking there, but I got to hit this key. I'm supposed to. We have a winner when we come out of here, and I know Brendan was looking at AMC. Sometimes I like Sleepy. We're looking for a 240 break, start taking profit off. That's exactly what's happened. The good thing about Sleepy action is if you look at my chart here, I can just roll into the short and then throw the bids out for all of our target areas. If it does fall down back into pre-market lows, we'll be looking to sit rather pretty here. And I think we are going to try to get a room back on at some point here just to go over what he was talking about in the future. For those of you that don't follow, we're going over the watch list from 9 to 9:30 in our prep. Everyone comes in and gives you some key levels in the futures and gives his outlook on the markets. But wowzers, we are strong. Did not see this one coming here in on election day. But I also want to go back to Alibaba very quickly. It does continue a bit of a push to the upside, and by a bit, I mean it's now $10 off of the bottom. When I tweeted this one out, I actually made a note to myself here. And if you've watched the show, you know this about me. All too often, for taking profit, I will get out for winners off of things I see on the level 2 when I have a target. It's not to say that it's all bad. It's just that it feels like overall, about 60-70% of the time, I would have hit my target anyways. I just got spooked out of it. So once again, that was the case here. It seems like in BABA, it did get up to 291.50, so only 50 pennies short of the target that we had at 292. Watch out for 94 if that breaks. Maybe 300s in the cards.
Okay, Palantir, we're liking this 1090 level. Big trade for me, again, in the own account, but we'll wait to see if it can make some money on the show. So 1090 or nice little long. I mean, I would prefer it obviously down in this area, 1080, but with some momentum to the high side. Let's see what Palantir can do breaking through 1090. We'll take some shares. It'll be a good trade for us, hopefully a bigger one as well for that. And then again, the high sides, it's had problems here. So that's why I don't know how much we'll take out of this one. It stopped at 11 a couple times. I don't know if it has the energy today to go to 11, but it's only 5 million shares. So it can get going. I do like Palantir here to break this high. And if that comes through, then we'll like that and hit it there when and if that does come in. Square, Plug. I'm just looking at the list here. Oh, you know what we didn't look at really was JP Morgan. I did want to put a trade on this name today because damn it. I was going to say maybe we take the 104 break, but there it goes. Through 104 up to 104.23 and still rocking and rolling, man. How often do you get a bank, guys, moving here 4%? And when it's a best of breed, you don't get that very often. So definitely, man, on election eve, I don't know if the market's telling us something, but banks higher, with a blue win, that's more regulations. That doesn't make sense to me why these banks are ripping up. So I think it's going to be the market. I think maybe things Trump here right now. But more importantly, we talked about this early, as long as it's somewhat of a uncontested election, and I laugh because I think both sides are going to contest the results no matter what, but that's great for the market if we have certainty, and I don't know if that's coming. So I would think that you could take some profits today and just hold on to the cash and then maybe get in a week or so once it's a little more settled. But hey, maybe it's completely settled tonight. Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice. I think everyone would be go to bed nice easier if things were structured and things were nice and settled. I'm not sure that's going to be the case. Certainly, I do believe that there is a positive spin for the banks either direction here, and I sort of talked about this when it comes to infrastructure spending, and that's going to be good for the banks almost in every single case, certainly because you know how those get funded. I want to go over back at AMC. It is now grinding to the downside, so we've gotten most of our targets out. Ignore this wick. 222 is the current pre-market low. It closed at 215. My out is going to be in front of the quarter. So I'll be all flat if we break 225, but it's a nice little retracement. 260 was level on the daily chart. Once it failed at that price, that's when I looked to short the first consolidation, gave it to the second one as well, guys. So all over AMC, it's a good one here. I love the shout out because it was one that we're all definitely looking at, and I just don't believe in the long, and it's nothing against them. But it is what it is, guys. I'm just going to beat up on that stock whenever I get the chance. Alibaba's starting to roll over. Might not have to think about that 294 breakout, but let's keep watching for a 280 bounce, guys. That's held twice now without testing the actual even dollar. And that jack, if it breaks about 85s, getting out of it, it still looks very, very strong. Be careful short with that.
Yeah, our jack got jacked out there at 555 short in the pre-market, and we got out basically at the bottom there. So that was a good one there. A little bit of money bags there for Jack, so we didn't have to hold that one. And that was my out down there. It was enough for that. Okay, new position alert. We go long into Intel. So let's hit the new position alert on that one. Intel just breaks above 45.25 here. It doesn't move much, so if the market wants to keep on rallying, I do like Intel. Check out the daily chart here, and I'll give you a little bit of more of a reason why. It's right here, 45.50. I think we could test that. It's actually 45.60. Looks like it's looping back around now, so maybe Intel does have that chance to go. This is why I was using 3-minute charts, because you could go back here and you could see some of these breaks here. 45, we've already broken higher than that, so now we'll hold on to some Intel. 2 cents in the money. It's not huge, but that's another name that we're looking at. That is Intel. We'll check out AMD. PayPal coming back in. There's that out, basically, that we gave you guys on PayPal was 181.30 or so. That's right where we are. So hopefully you're able to get out of some of those high side trades. What's up, B?
Talked about some cannabis names a little bit earlier. Guys just saw this ACB monster volume on ACB for the second day in a row here. We're kind of coming back into day lows, as we said, higher in the pre-market. They all got kind of flushed right out of the gate so far. Tilray, another one, 4.8% downside. Day lows coming for Tilray at this point as well. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe. An exciting one over in Europe as well, V.
Hey, Brandon, European shares extend gains today. French bank BNP Paribas is up more than 5% after it beat third quarter profit expectations. Back to you.
Yep, volatility to deal with right across the board so far today, guys. It's been higher, though. Back to you.
I just got out of mine. What a roller coaster that jack has been. It did break that 585. Been warning about the relative strength in that retracement play all morning long. We talked about the double dip reasons to look at Solar Edge to the south side here. If I made a mistake, it was being too overzealous, but at least showing a bit of discipline here. I got in too early off of this rollover. I like to catch on the way down, not on the way up. Certainly could have improved my price by a couple of dollars. I do think we test down towards 200. This play, bad earnings. On top of that, you of course look at the daily chart. That's an NQ. You do see the ramp up, of course, when all the solar names were moving to the upside. Already was showing some weakness as it was a sell-off in some of that space going into today being election day. Of course, there's a lot of risk depending on who does come out of this victorious. So the short here in Solar Edge, I should say. I want to get this one out in front of that 200 because if it does break, it's probably another short into 180 on that. And it is later on in the session here where if it hasn't broken it by now, maybe it's going to find some support. Brendan, what's up?
Blink charging, another one that we haven't looked at for a little while now. Blink just taking out $9 there. You can see big offer apparently because it spiked up on a volume chart, or a volume scanner, I should say. Blink to the upside as well today, guys.
All right, a couple names we're looking at right now. Intel, we've just gotten out for nice wins here. And it's just, again, like, this is just an instant, easy way to put that money in your pocket. Like, we go long 25s, out 27s, out 31s, out 32s. And here we go to the high side again. We're already out at the high of the day here, 45.32. We'll get out another piece at 34. And then we'll just keep on letting Intel go up, up, and away. Fastly, so we're long Intel. Good, I mean, here we go. Good trade on that one for sure. Hopefully it'll just keep going and we'll get out at 34s in a minute with an 8-cent win. There it is. Nice move on Intel. I still like Fastly. It doesn't go up. That's unbelievable unbelievable. Like, we gave 69.25. It rips all the way to 69.10. Now it's making another bottom. This could be a good spot here. 68.50 for Fastly. So again, if the market just wants to keep going up, we should pick some spots here. 68.50. Let's go long Fastly. See if we can get it back above 69 here, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, you start to think about, what you want to be trading going into like lunchtime in the afternoon, because you want sustained moves here. I just want to take us back to that Lordstown just a little bit here. It's starting to, level off, but this is a bit of a pullback, and it's holding the top end of the range, 1450. I think we were watching this one come back and expected maybe it would bounce a little bit lower than this, or at least a little closer to VWAP. So still showing some strength in Lordstown. Might be a place that we can play off of, at least in terms of where lunchtime comes in, or the afternoon session does come for some secondary moves. So I'm watching this one here, 1450. That's right, of course, the new symbol. When it comes to Plug Power, it's another name which is holding higher, but you are getting this little test of VWAP. And typically when I see this, I'm looking for a VWAP breakdown. I'm looking at 1685 just for a quick little scalp trade into like the original breakout here, the opening range breakout, 1650. So if I can catch this one through 85 down towards 50 with a stop at 17, I'm going to like that trade for me here, guys. So I'm going to take a quick look at Plug for just a scalp trade. This is trying to make 15 to 20 cents and risk about just a little bit less than that to the upside on a retracement and a break of VWAP on Plug.
Okay, so my wife just booked an appointment to have someone come look to put a pool in. Okay, so great. So I need to make a lot of money. Okay, so 68.50 now. We did get into Fastly, so that's a new position alert. So we're going to floss it off. Hopefully it keeps going to the high side there. Fastly, as now I realize I got to pay for a pool. AMC, we still have an 8-cent win on that one. This is near day's low right now, so we got to watch out for Fastly. $2.28 coming, or sorry, AMC. $2.38 is where we're short, 39 basically, and we're down here to day's low in this stock. So I think it still continues to go to the downside right now. The market wants to come down now too. So we may have hit a high spot right there. Let me guess, Arun's probably going to say if this breaks, he's going to go short, or he's going to say no position, but he's going to be coming on at 11:15. We're going to see about Arun, and then I don't know what levels he was talking about earlier, but we'll find out what he thinks about moving forward there. Intel, again, on the market coming back down here. Intel still holding up high. We're long at 25. We may take another piece out right now, and we don't want to hold too many longs. I do think, like I said, the NASDAQ's up 2%, man. I was surprised when it was up 1.5%. So now that we're up 2, we may want to look to go short on a few names here. I'm going to look at Apple and Microsoft coming up.
Yeah, I'm just watching, and I saw someone, I apologize for not catching the name in the chat. It moves fast, guys. Wayfair is trying to hold higher for the first time. But it was a move up in the market that I liked. I thought we'd catch a bounce, and then Wayfair would be able to pick up to the long side. Now we're holding below VWAP. The market's about to roll over. The timing is not fantastic in terms of where to pick this along up. I'd almost rather the market roll, and then we test the bottom one more time here, and then maybe try to bottom pick. It was a bit of a surprise to see how deep the fall was in Wayfair, given that it was strong earnings and it went up to $300. I was a little shocked to see that much of a give back, but it happened, and you can't ignore that level of weakness. It's also holding below this little VWAP as well. So if the market tries to push higher and we're still above that 55 mark, fantastic. I'd much rather we test the low one more time, especially as the market looks like it's rolling over. All I have to the short side, AMC, BBGI, and that SEDG both working southbound. I want to be adding a couple of names to that list. I just gave you guys Ride. Sorry, potentially off of 1450 bounce if it can hold that level. And then the other one to the downside is Plug Power. It has to break VWAP for me to get in. This is like a scalp breakdown trade. Like, so obviously you can short, if you believe in the short right now, you can take it. Hoping you hold off the high. Because I'm looking at a 1650 target, I'd rather just get in and out quickly through 85, and if it holds 17, hopefully we can just use the momentum of some of these longs covering to get us a nice little quick win at lunchtime. Well, not lunchtime yet, in Plug. Brennan, what's up?
A little bit more on this Alibaba Ant Group story, guys. There's a whole long story here, but this is the kind of important part right here. The fintech basically saying that they may not meet listing qualifications or disclosure requirements, and they also cited recent changes to the fintech regulatory environment in China. So now they're trying to figure out whether they need to disclose more information to get the IPO to go, or what exactly it's going to require is still a bit of a question mark, but that seems to be the cause, guys.
All right, well, we just got in it, breaking through 292, so that's probably not good news. We're going to give it back downside a little bit there for you guys, so we're going to watch out for that. Look, I'm long Fastly right now, which is about to break down to the downside, so that's not good, but we did enter into a new short, and it's a decent position here. AMD, let's see what this one wants to do here. We're going to go short AMD on a weak market. We talked about why we thought this market was obviously weak here today, and I'm surprised how high we're up, so I think AMD on a big move up back to 77 almost today. This one could be faded down, so we do take a little bit of a break there, and now we're in the money nicely, short at 37, in the money 10 cents right now. Out of the money nicely on Alibaba. We're gonna have to wait on that one, man, as the market fades in. I just took it on, like, that news just hit there, so this one may not work out, Alibaba, but right now what is working out really nicely is AMD to the downside.
Yeah, and new position alert for me. We missed Li Auto off of the open. But Li Auto comes all the way storming back off of 22, all the way into the pre-market high, an opening range top there, 23.70. It just stalled out, maybe like 10, 15 cents shy of it. First consolidation is down here, 23 2/4, which also happens to be the pre-market bottom. So this is the breakdown, exact same price, and we're going sideways off there. I'm shorting it off the higher day. If it breaks the top, I'm out. Hopefully we can retrace back to the downside and the market can slide down with me here. So I am still looking for that plug power short, but that's a different trade from this one. This one is shorting off of the high of the day in Li Auto, anticipating this could be the weaker of the EV names here. Certainly was off the open. Let's see if it can happen again. Brennan, what's up?
Just checking on Fire. I'm not sure if it was pre-market or maybe aftermarket tonight, but earnings today, regardless, for FEYE up 4%. Big volume just coming into this one, guys.
All right, I'm just getting my order set up here just in case we do continue to go higher. We're going to hold AMD just to the high of the day. If it breaks it, it breaks it. And then the market just wins and I lose, and we'll see what happens there. But we have gotten out of 20%. So we got out of 20% there as we do some quick math. Short 40s. Out there, 31s and 28s, I think, was our best spot. So the reason thing is, Fastly just breaks. So now we'll hold the last little bit to down here. We did take a long 68.50. We got out 67.80. So it's a small little loss there, about 70 cents on the downside of Fastly. Lost on that one, man. So hopefully we can make just as much on our AMD short as we lost on this Fastly short. Long story, but who knows? I still like Fastly. It just needs to go one more time back above 68.55, and we'll hopefully have that one for a winner. So right now we're just holding on to a bunch of shares here. Baba long through 292. That's $1 out. We've got to give that one room. We already know about that. And then AMD nicely in the money, 5 pennies. But that one, I think we have a target much lower, even back into this area, 75.70 or so. But without any further ado, it's Sector Watch time with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, nicely positive to say the least for the S&P 500. A full 2% to the upside now for the S&P. You're going to find individual names here to the downside, mostly on earnings reports. PayPal, I mean, that was really the outstanding one, but I just saw Mosaic now 12%. So when I mentioned it, it was 8, 9, but now 12% for Mosaic there. LEG 6.7 as well in the consumer discretionary group. That was also an earnings report that was a pretty big miss. But let's figure out what's leading here today. It's the industrials group, front and center. Big time strength coming from this group. The entire sector in positive territory. Same story for the banks again today. I said this probably 9:31 or 9:32. Banks are strong today. They were leading right out of the gate. Relative volume speaking, they're all higher than usual to the upside as well, which is good to see. Look at JP Morgan there. Number one, 4.3% today for JP Morgan, PNC, and CMA. All in positive territory. Diversified insurance groups, pick one. It's higher so far. Technology names, yeah, just PayPal, 2.8%. Everything else doing nicely, including ANET, 16%. IPGP and Zebra there. ZBRA, 7.8%. In the hardware equipment makers, semiconductors as well, KLAC and LRCX leading the way. But yeah, nicely higher on election day, 2.03% for the overall market. Just wanted to mention this one, leg, gonna double check on that. Pretty sure it was earnings, but 6% to the downside, guys. Back over to you.
Okay, here goes AMD to the downside. Big win again there. We get triggered out of our BOBA, so we had to get back in. Like, these dark pools are absolutely killing me right now. Out there by accident, so we get back in. Whatever, we'll just continue to ride it. We like BOBA long. But AMD, man, crashed down. Nice trade. Oops, wrong button. We did put on some decent shares there, giving it to the high of the day. So nice little cash so far on AMD. We're out of about 60% so far. We're going to hold the rest, like I said, into this area, 75.80, 75.90 here on a crash in the market possibly.
Yeah, just going to go back over that BBGI. It did make a bit of a higher low, and if you look at the pre-market level that we had as a target, 165 here. I do have an order, actually, some orders low below here in case we slide to the downside, but it made a bit of a bottom, 175. I took some more shares out. It's going to bounce back up. I'm not reloading on this game. I feel like that's sort of come and gone, that opportunity. Off of the open. If it comes back in and takes out 2, I'm going to be out of this. I don't want to hold past that 2 even mark, because I think it starts to try to fill this gap into 215, 220, and then you're looking at a run to the high, and that's a separate short idea there. I want to make sure that I'm locked and loaded for that if it does come by. Also, AMC starting to bounce back up. I took some out at 230. I had orders all the way down here, but look, it's still holding below that breakdown price at 240. I have to like that. One thing I can certainly do, which I'm actually about to do here, is move my stop up just above that 240 mark. If it makes another run to the top, I don't want to hang on to it. It's a sleepy enough trade that if it's going to be weak, it should hold below that 240 to 245 mark, guys. And if it breaks above, I'll just get right out of it for a winning trade either way on AMC. It's already been a good one. I don't want to turn a winner into a loser. Not on this day when we expected certainly for things to slow down a heck of a lot in the second half of the day. So I want to make sure that I'm locking in my profits on AMC, moving the stop to above that 240.
Okay, so AMD, you were just talking about AMC, so AMD I have on, and then Alibaba we have on as well right now. Just comes close, it does basically go to 292 there. I'm still thinking of an upside break on this one. Palantir breaks 90s, goes to 91, and of course we go long 91. Like there's a 90 sitting there. I don't know why we missed that, and it goes right to 9. Make to 91. Okay, we're long Palantir here, 91. So that's good. Other than that, man, we're just waiting here to see if we can't catch some more winners on all of these stocks, man. AMD now only 2 cents in the money as the market comes right back up. But I'm laughing because we were able to get some out here. And it's just, I go long some, short others. And right now, it's just like, look at that. My board is crazy here. NEO goes long through the top again. Okay, didn't even notice this one as we're looking at other names. So NEO, right to the top. We're long again, guys. 34.14, just cashing in that money, exploding it here on NEO, guys. The market just keeps on going here. NEO doesn't care. Just takes out the day's high right there. Wow, what a stock.
And what I love about NEO going to the upside here is Li Auto tried to test the high, and as we go to the top in NEO, Li Auto still hanging below it. So, and obviously, if NEO is going to go forever, there is a chance we break out the high of the day. I did take another leg in when it rolls over. I have one more entry point that I'd like to get my price should be 23.35 and change, or something around that price range, so that I'm risking about 35 pennies. And then I want to get out below VWAP here, which about 23 even. If my short is 23.35, the top end is 23.70. The math would be perfect. Once it breaks VWAP, I'm looking at better than 1-to-1. So if you're going to be averaging into a position or taking it in multiple steps, you want to make sure you get the exact right price. I should have exactly what I want and no worse than a 23.35 short in Li Auto, which I think should be relatively weak continuously to NEO in retrospect. I got to watch out for SolarEdge. It is starting to come back here. I thought we'd be testing that bottom by now. It just looks like it's making a bit of a higher low there at 205. Just to give you a little bit of perspective on the gap here on the 15-minute. You are seeing a double bottom at that 205 mark. I like using a higher time frame when you're holding a trade a bit longer. And I am trying to get out in front of 200 if it makes another test at the bottom. Never actually got to 200 even, so call it 201 and change would be my exit point. For now, it is trying to hold lower. It was in the money a couple of seconds ago, $6, but I wanted a little more than that on this short.
I mean, and I don't want any more than NEO every day, all day, every single time. Neo chicken dinners all over the place, man. Neo just continues to be the biggest and baddest stock here today. Longs, long again on the break of the high of the day. And now we rip to the high side there. So great little trade on Neo, man. We're out of half of this position right now. But yeah, again, high side moves on Neo. We gave you this one. Hopefully it's going to be a good one. Palantir, we got some out 94s off of a 91. So we'll wait there again, see if we can't get a little bit more out. What's up, B?
Just double checking on Rocket here, guys. We were talking about Rocket Mortgage earlier. November 10th is going to be earnings. Yeah, you can see that for this one. RKT just saw 1950 held on the bounce there. Popped up on a volume scanner for Rocket, guys. Maybe hopes of higher interest rates helping this one today?
Okay, I'll have a quick look at Rocket, but I also want to look at another name here, First Solar. Obviously, if we're going to be looking at the place of the downside in the solar space, why not look at First Solar? It is making a bit of a bottom as well. I mean, obviously, it hasn't been as volatile as the earnings play in Solar Edge, but look at this level here. Look at yesterday's bottom, 87.15 or so, 87.20, the current low. If it takes out the bottom on First Solar, I think it's going to be worth it for the short side, guys. Just to jump into a momentum play, I want to have some directional plays, regardless of where we go from here. It does feel like it's going to be up. But I want to have a couple of shorts that I do like in First Solar. I'm probably in Solar Edge, obviously, as it is. But if that one does round into resistance, it's down like over 20%. First Solar is only down 1%. It might have some room to go here, guys. So I'll be watching that one rather closely. One other name I wanted to quickly jump back to. I did mention that I did move my stop in AMC. My targets I also want to change a little bit too, because it puts in this higher low at 230. I might get some more shares out between the 230 and 235 mark, just to make sure that I am locking in profit. In addition to tightening up my stop, the other thing you can do for risk standpoint is start to take some profit a little bit shy of what your ultimate goal would be. So I will take more between 230 and 235 if it rolls over from here at 237. But the new stop is now at 244 as well on AMC.
Okay, a few things here. Palantir, I like it breaking through here. We've bounced off VWAP a couple times. Let's break through 68 and get some more Palantir, hopefully on the way there. We got out of our AMD. We're now holding like 30% or so of this waiting for the high side. I just realized that I'm way more long everything else, so no point. Here's the dollar win on Alibaba off this long right here. 291.000s as we got triggered in out of our initial out. So really it's 292, so we're just back to flat now on Alibaba. I just wish our stop order never got triggered on those D prints, but what can you do? 286 to the bottom there is where the D prints came, but we are now $1 in the money here on Alibaba off of a reload, so not much happening. Neo goes upside. We get most of them out. Like I said, we're out now of 2/3, 66%. We're going to only give it back to flat now. So we'll get out of a little bit more, and then if it comes back flat, we'll get out. We're still thinking it could take off the top. Everything making money right now. Palantir's a nice little long. We took some more out 93s. We're going to wait for 94s, and then hopefully break through 11 today. If that wants to go, fantastic. If not, again, because it's Palantir, we do have some decent amount of shares, so we're only going to give this back to VWAP 1080, guys, to Palantir. So we'll see on this one. Again, big move up today. Nice move up 4%. I like this in the long term. The call's already been made down at 962 or 963 is where we're long. So may have to have some profit taking today, but watch out for Palantir breaking back down through VWAP. Fastly, we're going to go long as well into that name. And then we're watching Neo as it's coming back here.
Yeah, another big test that's going to happen on SEDG Solar Edge here. It's $6 the money. Like I said, this is as far as it's gone, and then sort of held the bottom. And let's just look at level 2 here so you can see. This is usually a pretty thin stock, so it's not an insignificant level. You're seeing a few thousand shares here at 205 even. I did see some iceberg action. I think if we break here, and we get any kind of a consolidation close enough to that low of day, that 201.50. I'm not going to split hairs. I'll just take it off. If it does bounce shy of that ultimate target at 250, sorry, 200 even, I should have said, around 201.50, 202. On a break of 205, we'll just happen to get out of this one. It's been a good ride so far. Speaking of ride, there's my little segue. Lordstown is trending back towards that 1450. This is the level that has to hold for any kind of a long trade. I do have the Lee Auto short already, but now breaking downside on ride. I was hoping we'd get a bit of a bounce off this level. That hasn't happened. It literally just chewed through it and then snapped back on the bid. But you're seeing relatively thin trade, no support at this buy price. So I guess we can't go long on ride. We are short Lee Auto anyways, guys. I'm looking for a couple of long trades to look at. Wayfair could be one of them, but we want to see a more firm bottom on that one before we pick up the bid. And once again, Solar Energy holds that 205, so it looks like it might have caught a bid finally. It's already 10:50. Time to get to the big screen. Money Talks with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, let's update currency world ahead of results coming in the U.S. election. You can see the weakness that we were talking about yesterday and the day before as well in the U.S. dollar, kind of accelerating even today ahead of the election results. So big moves up here for a lot of these, including the British pound leading the way, 1.16%, full percent. 130.5 again for the British pound. So we bounced off this 128.5 all the way back to 130.5. 131.5 was that last kind of spike high that we got to going back a month or so ago. But the British pound, the big winner today. The Canadian dollar, 0.9%, 76.3. The euro, 0.76%. You can see volatility coming off today. I posted a couple of times that the VIX and the CBOE volatility index coming back to the downside today. So these two also in negative territory. Australia, New Zealand, both solidly higher. Look at the Aussie, 1.5% back to 71.5. Bitcoin and Ethereum not really doing too much. 13,700 up slightly for Bitcoin. Back over to Neil.
Bitcoin, and there you go, guys. You guys see the update there. You see European update coming at 11 o'clock. Because of the move in the markets, we are bringing you guys Arun back on here at 11:15. He'll just go over his update on some of the levels that he's watching in case you missed out on it. Obviously, on election day, you are seeing some activity in the markets here, and why not bring our resident expert on who crushes it in the futures markets to tell you guys a little bit what he sees. Market stronger than I anticipated, certainly. I wanted this trade in Li Auto off of the open. Ideally, I wanted us fading sort of off of it. At 9:30, just immediately flush. I talked about trying to sell off of the current high, but it just went straight down and gave you that little breakout. I do have a 23.31 short on. It didn't really give me the consolidation where I would have liked it around this 35 to 40 area to get more shares. If it does, I'll add one more time. But just looking for a retracement play. If NEO continues to run up, probably going to take the top off in Li Auto, but if there's even the slightest slowdown in NIO, I'd feel pretty confident that Li Auto is going to come back down to earth rather quickly here, guys. And that's why once it breaks VWAP, I'll start taking some out. I do have a couple of targets here, and one of them is a keystroke. I don't think it's going to 2160. I'll put some orders down in the 2260 area, and when it breaks 23, that's when I'm looking to cover. It's been so active today that I feel like we've gotten away from this. And no, the real reason is I think that's an interesting picture of me. But what day is it today? It's Election Tuesday for those of you that are in the United States. And why not drop an educational video on trading during an election cycle, trading post-election, trading the day of, whatever fits your fancy. We brought this one to you guys. We already taped it. We're dropping it. The link in about an hour or so. Valeria should have that for you. So check it out in the Market Wisdom page. Obviously a little bit topical today, as you are going to see some trade wins based on this election play. Bit of a bounce here in Li Auto as I was talking. So if we get a rollover right around that 35 area, I'll be adding to this one more time. This is going to be my last. This is my last ditch effort for this Solar Edge, guys. If 205 is just going to hold over and over and over and over again, it's going to get frustrating for me. And all I'm going to do, I'm not moving my targets. I would just slide my stop. Not from break even to somewhere in profitability, maybe give myself a couple of dollars worth of a win. This is a big time hold at this level. I don't want to completely ignore it. It is a higher low. The stock is down 23%. It's like, how much do you really expect it to go here? I'm looking for the break. It's in the money, $5 here. Sorry, $6 here. But that's a firm wall at 205, which is starting to form on me here that I can't ignore. Gonna get that last entry point into Li Auto. Just did. So I have my price. It's about 22.33, a couple of pennies off from what I liked, but that's going to be close enough. And my apologies. I said a couple of times I was looking for places to get into Wayfair to the long side. Talked about the previous close holding. I didn't love the fact the market looked like it was going to roll over and we were testing lower on Wayfair. And of course, that means there it goes. Wayfair has come and gone. Maybe I've missed this one to the long side, but on a day like today, if you have some winning trades, I'm trying not to overtrade. I think that's a theme that you saw all of us say early on. So yes, there's unexpected moves in the market. That doesn't mean you have to step too far away from what you expected to be involved in today. And I've stuck to every single name has been on the watch list. Wayfair was as well. certainly gave you a bit of a bottom pick. Still room to go. But obviously 255 was where I liked it a heck of a lot better than chasing it $10.
I mean, I refill the coffee and we come back and we say WTF to you, Neo, because holy crap, it's a dancing gorilla today. I mean, you are on fire, Neo, man. Another 4%. This thing's going to be at $50 by the end of the year. I mean, you could put that for sure away and see what happens right there, man, because honestly, Neo is just a beast, to say the least there. Just keeps on going up. I don't know what else to say other than that. Fastly right now, we were just nicely in the money, I guess. There on this wick, and then it came right back. So right now we do have some Fastly long as well. The only one that's really misstepping right now is my boy Palantir, making a couple missteps. We're long at 91, so 5 cents out. Like, I can't believe I'm saying that's a misstep. But look at Alibaba right now. Chicken dinners, $2 sorry, now in the money on Alibaba. It would only be about $1.50 because remember our initial trade was up here, 291.90. So yeah, actually it would be much more than that right now. But Alibaba making a move back to the upside, a nice little $3 winner. It looks like your boy won't be able to buy this in the 280s once the show's over. What up, B?
Just noticed another clean energy name just popping up here, having quite the day. Fuel Cell. There's no news on this, but 5.5% for FCell. Look at the volume behind this one as well, holding just below 230, which is a bit of a level on the daily chart. 6% for FCell, guys.
All right,
yeah, I mean, Fuel Cell, certainly something that's worth watching. You can watch out for this BBGI. I mean, I still do have a portion of this position left. We had multiple entries to the short side off of this $2 range, but it just bounced right here off of VWAP, just below that $2. If it is going to grind higher, like I said, I don't want to give it past $2, but I'm going to start to think about taking at least some off on the way down to 175. It does feel like that could be a target that's worth holding on to, as opposed to getting that 165, 160. I'm starting to split hairs, thinking it's going to be a home run trade when it's already bounced off of what seems like a firm bottom here at 175, guys. So I am looking to take some more shares off of BBGI. I know it's been a sleeper, but worthwhile. It is a money maker. The other one here, starting to grind back to the upside. The market is relatively strong, so you got to watch out for some of these shorts. Don't want a winner to turn into a loser, so any higher on AMC, and I'm going to be getting out. We did take a bunch out near the bottom. I did think we'd get just a little bit lower down towards that 225. Looks like that's not going to be the case on AMC, and like I said, if it does make another test at 260, that was the level on the daily that we liked. If it does roll over there, I can always jump into another short, a fresh short at a better price, but not going to fight this one. We've already taken profits. Let's not turn a winning trade into a losing trade over here on AMC.
Yeah, can't we all just be friends, guys, and get the winners? Okay, AMD going to the upside right now. Look at Alibaba, guys. This is a $3 winner. So you wanted the dancing baby. Did we ever have a dancing baby?
That's long gone.
Yeah, that's long gone. That's welcome. Oh,
that's like that. If someone asked for the dancing baby, they've been around here and watching us for months because I haven't seen that on my board.
I can't remember the dancing baby, to be
honest.
honest.
I remember it. It was creepy.
Okay, yeah,
it
was creepy, that's for sure. I don't remember it, but any dancing baby, whatever, pretty creepy, I guess. Okay, Alibaba, $3 in the money. We talked about that. AMD, we did get some out there at 27 when we sat back down. Now it looks like it wants to take out the high. I mean, look at the market right now, guys. Back to day's high, up 2.5% on NASDAQ right now. So big moves happening. Neo, 45 cents in the money. We just took some out at 70. That's an unbelievable trade. Intel back again. This is another 7-cent winner. Fastly's now 25 cents in the money. Hey, I thought I got some out of Fastly. Did I just get to? Yes, I did. Right there at 41. So that's a nice little win there. We'll hit the siren. Like, I can't even keep track of all these winners right now that we have on board. Alibaba, we're long at 291. It's at 294, back to the day's high. If just this, God darn it, wick here, we just would have had a better price, but we did get out, but we reloaded back in once we realized that was a problem. So right back to the high side there. Fastly's out already. AMD is the only problem right now, but we cashed out of AMD, man. You can see that one. We are going to get out of the rest once it does take out the high, which is happening right now. And I'm fine with it taking out the high. You can see I'm loaded long on a lot of symbols right now, including Palantir. We did get a little bit out at 88 there. Now let's see if it goes higher than 95. It's been a fantastic show, guys. But right now we're ready for Valeria and the European update.
Hey guys, European shares are in very positive territory today. All the attention is on the US presidential election. Britain is up 2.02%. France is up 2.28%. Italy is up 2.65%, and Germany is up 2.18%. Hugo Boss is up more than 3% as it reported a return to profitability in the third quarter. Back to traders.
Hugo Boss, why not? Like a boss. But like a boss is this BBGI. Look, this is why I try to give warnings to you guys. If we're all watching this one for retracement play and looking to short it, it showed some strength. This is a bit of a volume kick up back towards that $2 area, which was so good in the pre-market. If it does break through, I think it's worthwhile a better test up here around that 225 or so 215 to 225, maybe even into the 230s. For a bit of a rollover, guys. So I'm just not going to be a huge fan of hanging on to this one too much longer here. If it breaks too even, I'll just get. I have a 199 short on this name, and I've already made some good money on this. And you don't want to throw it away. Not today. Not when it starts to show a little bit of strength to the upside. And Li Auto got to watch out for that short as well, guys. AMC. We talk about the winners. We talk about when it doesn't work out for us. Just got stopped out. Didn't want to give it all the way back to 250 or 260, so we'll get out of it at 244. That was around our original entry price, and then we added back into it at 250. Here it goes. So it's not going to be a losing trade, thankfully, but it did make a hard bottom. This is the power of having some passive orders on the way down, so we're able to take advantage of this flush without actually watching the stock. It just allowed the move come back into us. AMC coming upside, BBG coming upside. The market is even moving some of the more weaker and depressed names, guys.
I'm just waiting to see on the bottom if it shows our European trades because I'm into BMW here. And the reason why, here's BMW over here in Germany. Tomorrow could be a super spicy day. So I just want to make sure that you're able to see, just in case Neil or I take some European trades tomorrow, as the market's going to be moving early. So definitely check us out at 9 o'clock tomorrow. It could be an epic day here in the market. I don't see it there on my long or short here.
Unfortunately.
So I don't see it working on the position board right now, guys. So I'll have to find out what's going on with that one. That is BMW.
Yeah, and certainly, obviously, at Day Trade the World, guys, that we have the ability to trade every single market. Well, just about every market. I mean, I'm sure I can think of one that we don't have somewhere. Nothing comes to mind, unfortunately. I wish I could come up with an example for you. But look, we can trade in Europe. I like trading primary markets if we can. For anything that's going to be dual listed. Just going to jump back to a name from the watch list here, Wayfair. Look, if it's going to continue to grind higher, let's start thinking about where this thing could stop. And the first levels that are going to stick out to me, 275, 285 would be the bigger one here. It was support in the pre-market. It was where the real flush occurred at 285. It was a shocking retracement in Wayfair. If it gets anywhere close to that, it feels like it's a little bit overdone. There was some rejection of those prices earlier in the day. I would expect to see that happen again if we get anywhere close to it. So obviously, I missed the opportunity on the long, despite sort of battering out about how I wanted to go long in Wayfair at the bottom. I ended up not doing it. I do want to come back to a name from yesterday, Under Armour. This is a stock that we did like to the buy side and was a good trade for that long. It is still trying to grind higher. Just worth noting here, I thought we'd get to 15 yesterday. We stalled out at 1480, 1478 actually. 1478 is exactly where the high is again today. So there is a potential breakout trade, I think, in Under Armour today through that 1480 price, maybe getting back towards some of those highs, especially if the market continues to go up. You want to have some longs in the back of your pocket, guys, and Under Armour for me through 1480 looks like it could be one.
Okay, I'm trying to deal with some problems here. So let's just get out now a little bit on NEO coming to the upside if we can at 56 or so. We'll see. We are long. Again, our best out is 70. There it is. Another out right there. Alibaba does rip to 94. I should have noticed that was the high right there last time. So we let some profits go right there. Let's take it out if that does happen again. 294 and change here on Alibaba. Actually, you know what? I think it takes it out. So let's hold on as much as we can onto that one. Palantir still going. Fastly, up to 68.60. Some resistance up there. So let's put an order around there again, 68.70. If we can get a long, or we are long, see if we can get that out. Look, everything's making money for us. I don't know what I'm complaining about. As we continue to go, AMC is the only loser that we have, and we are short on AMC. So Fastly right now is in the money. 50 cents. We're long at 30 cents as we're long at 16. I think it's worth it to get this out again if we do rip up here to the 70s. Let's put an order just in case, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you got to put those orders in just in case. Every now and then you put those orders in to limit the loss. I did get that last entry point. I talked about this on a Lee Auto. It is grinding towards the high. I mean, this market is just incredibly strong right now. Grinding towards the top. If we roll over, this is going to be fantastic. Obviously, if we take out 2370, I'm getting out of the way of Lee Auto for now. If it does break higher, you do still have 2450 since an IPO. That's an obvious level that we would be testing. If it gets there, I'll take another shot at it to be sure, but I need to roll it over there, guys. So first things first, if the auto breaks the top, I'll be getting out of my short. But 2450 does loom a little bit higher than this, and I take another crack at it. Brennan, what's up, bud?
Workhorse, haven't seen this one until now on the days. Workhorse is coming up to this day high around 1740. 8.25%. No news on Workhorse, but another one doing significant volume, guys.
Of course, they're looking very strong. All of them popping to the upside on me. But I just want to look. Obviously, we're going to be playing a lot of these names that are related in the EV space, which could have some tailwinds or headwinds depending on how you want to look at it with the results in here tonight. So I think all of those are going to be in play. Just jumping back over to Lordstown, it does pop back up to that 1450 mark. This looks like it needs to make up its mind. I thought if we broke this 1450, it'd be the direction downside. That hasn't held true. So it might just be a no-do trade, nothing to see here on Lordstown. I would have liked to see us hold the bottom, hold this for a long trade. Obviously, it just broke it and then looked like it could have indicated the short. That's sideways action that I want no part of. So I'm going to step away from that one and then go back over to a name that I think should be at least a little bit better in terms of a play. Now, I got out of my Twitter here when it got to that sort of 4180 resistance and then trailed me out at 4150. It did break up, never quite got to 42, my lucky number. But that 4180 to 4230 was the range I was looking for a short. The problem is it never really tests strong enough in there for me to have jumped in. But now looking for that top end break, if it does break that 42 even now, you do start to think about scalping it into 42.30. A failed break would be ideal for the short trade. The futures are trying to go, but they're running into a bit of resistance here. So I'll be dipping into Twitter. If it makes another run at the high without breaking 42, that's a signal for me to jump into a quick little short back into VWAP here, guys. 42.30 I like a little bit better for a break to the long, and that's when we went to the higher time frame and sort of showed you guys the last time we're trading in this range. It was choppy action on the way down, 42.30 into that 41.80 mark, which was the following day, that bottom. That's where we're holding right now in Twitter. If it breaks out of that to the upside, I'm looking 42.30. Otherwise, hunting for a short.
Yeah, watch out here as Alibaba coming back to the downside. AMC is flat. I mean, we're just trying to, get a few trades here for you and find these winners as we go. Baba comes all the way back, man. We did have a big winner on there up to 94, and we didn't take it. We thought it was going to break. I should have taken some out there, but didn't notice it. So 294. We're going to give it back to basically a flat trade at this point. If we break back down below about 291.50 or so, we will get out of that. So we got to watch out. Mistaken opportunity there. We could have took $4 on Alibaba and we didn't. So damn it, big mistake there. That's okay. We'll just move on from it, right? Palantir. Nothing right now. Very, very boring stock for me right now, but it is my largest position share size-wise. Obviously, it's only $11 stock, so we don't have to risk much capital into this name, but I still think that this 94, where we got out last time, definitely gets retested here today, especially if this market takes off the top. We do have Arun coming in under 10 minutes. What's up, Brendan?
Bloom Energy here, guys. Another one that did have some ties to the clean energy space, but Bloom Energy right at day highs here, 1450, bit of a level. Came all the way back down to these important levels on the daily chart and looks to be bouncing a bit for BE. Decent volume for BE as well. Almost 12% today, guys.
Boom, to the upside. Here's another test at that BBGI at 202. We like area stops around here just sort of to be able to watch the level 2 instead of having a hard stop. When liquidity is like this, having a stop order random pricing, if 201 prints, get out. Not always the best idea because you want to see how it trades. There's not really a concern that it's going to go anywhere that you can't get out here unless you're literally trading 1 million shares at a time. So if it rolls, this is fantastic for us. If it rolls over, it would have been a failed break back to these prices, and we can start thinking about adding back into it. Now, I'm not there yet, but I am getting rather close to thinking about that. It did get like 203, which is exactly what it did at the open here. It tried to test at 205, never got through. So if we roll over, a good place as it's happening right now to maybe jump into some more shares southbound of BBGI. Does look like that one's been a fantastic one for us, and it could continue a little bit later on. As far as AMC goes, I did trail out of this one a little bit early, but I was kind of hoping that we'd test 260 again. Looks like that might not be the case, and could have just held on to this one with the original stop. I felt like being conservative was the way to go. We'll see if that was the right call.
I'm just going to post this up on Twitter right now because NIO, man, I mean, it just continues to go, and just to show people, you know, like we're in here early before the market even opens. It tanks down just like we said it's been doing. We're able to get that long and then get them all out, break through VWAP. We get out. This is a monster win. We get out at that point, the high of the day, and then it breaks through VWAP and we get out of our last 10%. Then we wait very, very patiently until it breaks the high of the day again right here. And then this long was just the cash money that we're in right now. I mean, this is just unbelievable how much this goes on. So you can follow us all at Twitter and see some of the posts that we have up. But wow, Neo today, just what a monster move. Just continues to rip it upside. And yeah, if you guys have any luck here with Neo, I hope that you've been long, because this stock, like I said it's going to 50. I see there's a lot of people here that obviously hold the stock, calling 100, calling everything. And yeah, look, I don't know where it's going, but PayPal. Crap, wow, PayPal. I mean, explode the money for PayPal. Hit some sirens there. Anybody, I was just pounding the longs here this morning. Not a profitable stock, but look at these longs here today. Big time, and then now we just rip to the high side, guys. You can't hold PayPal down. We talked about that early on there, and unfortunately, this wick breaks us out of our early long, but you can see, man, we just keep going long, 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 and it just rips up to the high side there. So anybody that held on to PayPal, congratulations, because that stock is just a monster today. Should have held on, obviously, for more. Ah, well.
Anybody that held on to Jack, I will also congratulate you. This won't age well. Look at that wick. The only positive thing about this is if you see I got out here at 585. Yeah, somebody else made top wick at 589. So congratulations to me for what is the second ugliest exit. Someone somewhere out there got out of this trade a few pennies worse than I did. And look, it's going to look bad either way. You have to have a bit of a level. I see this move back up, and when it's on volume, multiple volume pushes, pushing back towards the level that I was watching. This is on positive earnings here. I'm just going to get out of it. We were already profitable at the open, then shortly after, and then it started to pick back up. I didn't want to get caught in that trap. The only misstep here, and this is why I want to bring it up, when you get an immediate failure, I do this too often. I get out of it and then go to look at something else instead of, hey, what happens? Does it immediately slide back in? Because that's a re-entry point. It's a failed break through a previous price area that I had as a stop. Should be getting back in here at 65 to 70 off of that new high. I didn't do it because you take the hit, you're positive on the stock still, and say, okay, I'm done with that one, let's move on to the next. Not the way you want to play it. Stick to what is working, stick to where your reads are good. This one on the watch list near the bottom, Jack, certainly was one that we had multiple back-to-back jacks. I think every one of us was watching that name there, guys. So it was definitely a good one to have. But for me, there's lots of ways that I could improve on it. Plug. Lots of ways that we can improve there. I mean, just had a ridiculous order out there that I had to cancel for no good reason. But Plug Power looking like it wants to hold below that 17 mark. But that was that 1685 break that happened that I missed. Why? Because I mispriced my order. That's why you saw it at the wrong price. So I do miss that scalp. It would have worked for you right into 1650. Because of the nature of that trade, I wanted to break down on volume and then get me to that 50 area and then right back. And then, you know, I'm not looking to do it twice or three times. It was a one and done. So the fact that I mispriced my order, that's all on me. The trade is a good one if you have direct market access. That's one of those hit a single during consolidation, play a range-bound trade, something we talked about on our Market Wisdom page a little bit earlier, range-bound trading versus those bigger opening breakouts, those retracement plays. Lunchtime, you can do some range-bound trading if you have direct market access.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all about managing your fees and making sure that you know what your platform can and cannot handle. Someone said, is Neo 35 a good break? I mean, look, Neo's already at the day's high. I mean, sorry, all-time highs and at day's highs. So do I think a 35 break is good? Yeah, but I mean, we've already anytime we get consolidation, we got to buy this thing. That's for sure. We'll buy some options every time we see something like this. But right now, it's just going parabolic the last 2 days. $31. Actually, you know, we were down to $30. Now you're up to 34. So I guess not parabolic. It's 15% in 2 days, which is a nice move, but not a crazy one. I would say there's more room to ride here on NEO, but I don't want to pay up this high. Without any further ado, Brendan's got a guest, and his name is Arun.
Yeah, it's an important day, obviously, guys. So we wanted to bring Arun back and get a handle on what we should be aware of as far as important levels go on the overall market. So we'll bring Arun back in and double whammy of Arun again today. Hey, man, let's have a look at the futures once again, see what levels we need to talk about here.
Again, when you start the day, there really is no levels. You let the market go, develop something on this run up, on this big run up off the open. I did see 60 maybe becoming something to keep an eye on. So I am looking at 60, maybe some longs in front of there for a quick trade. Once I get that trade, that level disappears for me. One thing I do want to clarify, though, this kind of move, this is just a warm up of the kind of directional movement that you're going to see throughout the day. If it chooses a direction, it's going to go. The NASDAQ took off 140 points as soon as we took off the pre-market high. That's the kind of movement you're going to get. One direction, it goes, and then we kind of settle in, figure out what to do, and then we may choose a different direction or we may continue again. So that's the kind of day you're in for today. Expect all throughout the day, especially in the afternoon, you're going to see a lot of volatility because I believe the earliest polls closer or voting centers close at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So market closes at 4. So there's a lot to happen. There's a lot going to happen towards the end of the day, especially in the final hour, hour and a half. I'd be aware of that. And of course, then you have the aftermarket session, which is going to be extremely volatile. And then throughout Europe. So especially in another 36 hours, I think, expect some directional movement. It's just going to be all over the place. So that's why earlier, you just take your read. If there's a move to be made, you take that shot, you let it go. And then once it's kind of run its course, you get out. There's no holding on to positions. I like to, hold my positions. I like to work positions, work a longer term trade. Not so much today. It's going to be a little bit quicker on the entries and the exits for me. So that's the way you got to trade. Just treat this early move as the warm up for what's going to happen for the rest of the day and into tomorrow as well.
A little bit unexpected, I think, as far as the size, we can say, 2+% on election day, not really expected, I would say. If you go to the daily chart, Arun, we're kind of back to the middle of the range on the ES, at least this 3,400 just screaming at you right in the dead center of this daily range. Was already, resistance a couple of times. Is that going to be important here in the next couple of days?
Well, when you take a look at the daily chart, look at the area that we bounced, right? This 3250 going into 3200, that's a base from going back to late September. So the fact that we're re-entering the middle of that, I guess, the sideways range here, 3400 definitely has a ton of activity, 3400 going up to 3420. All of that's, it's available to you as information to make a quick trade, but at the same time, if this market decides to go, it's going to go right through. If it's based on news or something, technically you want to trade it off of a normal trading day where there isn't extra circumstances or special circumstances attached to it. Now, let's just say there's some update in some sort of polling or something, anything really that's related to the election. This will blow right through any and all levels that are available to you. Of course, that 3,400 looks great on the daily chart. 3,400 going up to 3,410, 3,420. That is an area to look at. If there's no news coming out, then I expect, that's something to be, that's going to slow this market down a little bit to the upside. But if there's news that comes out, it'll blow right through it. So edges are edges, levels are levels until there's some news that comes out, and then they all get blown up. And that's why for me today, I'm just going to be playing with the flow, the order flow, and not so much as the levels. Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting rest of today and also tomorrow to come. We'll check in with Arun again tomorrow morning before we get going early on tomorrow. So thanks so much, Arun. We'll let you get back at it, and we'll send it back over to the guys.
Thank you there, Arun. It's all about, look, where else are you going to find that? I mean, live in the middle of the show, the futures start making moves that we are anticipating. Now we get our trader right back on live. And thank you for him for taking time from his day do that for us. Yeah, Solar Edge, this is getting a little frustrating with this bid. Break this buyer, which is now twice the size at 205. It has held multiple times, it's been holding all morning long. The stock is down. Because it's down 23%, it's short sell restricted. That kind of means that people that want to aggressively hit that bid at 205, there needs to be an uptick. So it is a bit trickier to short this. I'm in the short already, of course, but for those that want to pound that bid or break those levels, at times, if you find a big level, an iceberg, it's harder to chew through. Later on in the session, especially at lunchtime, because it's short sell restricted. So that could be a bit of a problem here, but the weakness I'm loving. I think we test towards that 200 bottom. Sometimes it's not about buy low, sell high, or sell high and buy back lower. Sometimes you just got to short things when they're under pressure, and if it's already down 17, 18%, you just do it anyways. Unfortunately, I was going to hit a negative one here for you guys. Let's flush myself down the toilet. Why? Because I shorted the EV space and did not survive. There's Li Auto. It does break the top off. I'm going to get out of this one, like I said. Once it broke the pre-market high, you just got to cover this one, take the hit. I knew it was going to happen, and it's a first losing stock of the day, and it was almost guaranteed it was going to be short on an EV name. I almost feel like that was in the cards. But you should be all over the long side in the NEO trade. And I feel like if everyone's made money on NEO, the last time, I could be wrong about this, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. The last time NEO made a move like this, we hit 2,000 likes.
Oh, I don't know.
Easily, well, I think
I don't know
before noon. So Valeria, my question is, are we getting close to that? Because it feels like it should be a repeat.
Well, Neil, we are just at 1,100 of likes. We absolutely deserve more. Dear viewers, please spend just a second of your time and smash the like button. Back to you, Neil.
Yes. I want to see astronaut Valeria. And you know what? Here's an idea for you guys. Because we are obsessed with this 2K, 2,000 likes, and we like to get there, you guys let us know what kind of a graphic should these guys set up for 2,000 if we want to replace it, or for 2,500 if we want to set a new target. So we'll let you guys name it. If you have any suggestions, throw it in there. Robbie can do just about anything when it comes to graphics, so don't hesitate to make it really, really hard on him, guys. I think that should be a lot of fun. I do want to jump back over to Jack just a little bit here. It's making another push to the upside, but here's the difference. Look at the volume on this. Oh, sorry. You guys can't see that. It'll improve my lower third there. Look at the volume on this move as opposed to the last time it tested towards the high. Yeah, that's weak. On low volume during lunchtime, so I'm not as big of a believer. If it tests up towards that 580, I didn't re-enter last time in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, I'll get back into you, Jack, see if we can hit another winning trade in this name here. But I like the volume being low on this move. It just kind of means there's less interest in buying this name up as opposed to last time when it stopped me out. So if it creeps up to like that 65, 70, give it right back to that 85 and then jump into this trade again with some confidence.
All righty then. Yeah, I mean, I'm still the same way right now. We got out of Intel up here. Things are just bouncing. And, you know, if we can rewind, we said not to put on too many big positions here today and sort of let everything work itself out. That's not what I did for NEO, as this one just keeps on ripping. But watch out now. Now, like the move, I'm out, guys. Like I have that 10% left. What a big move. I mean, you can see all of these outs. Obviously, we're not going to be holding on to too many shares right now of this. And you can see the NASDAQ still up that 2 and a bit. We can check out what the ES is up. ES right now, Z20. Let's just see. Arun just crushed out some levels there, 3,400 he talked about with Brendan. So that could be coming. Look, both ES and NASDAQ just rocking and rolling right now. And see, here we go. NEO, again, makes a bottom there at 40 and then just rips up another 30 cents. So very hard to trust some of these levels right now. What's up, Brendan?
Big mover over the past couple of days, back at it again. I didn't see this one today, but BLRX 24%. We're coming back to this 310 area. If you remember back on Friday, this one had positive news again yesterday for BLRX. So watch 310 up here for this one, guys.
That's a blast from the not even that far in the path. I feel like we've been involved in that one recently. Finally get a break in SEDG, and we try to teach you guys some things around here. So 205 finally goes, but what do you not see? There's no one selling and offering below that 205, so as much as the level is broken, the bid, there's no continuation because there's no sellers below that key price. And I think that's, if you want to talk about what a failed breakdown would be, that's exactly what it tends to look like. Now that you see some sellers come in only at 93, I want to see that come down a little bit more. Then I can start thinking about sliding my stop again because we're probably going to hit our target. But that's one thing you should always consider in a stock that has a bit of a spread. It had to find its way. If instead of what's happening here, which is working in my favor, some offer trailing it down below 205, if the reverse was true, it opened the spread and no sellers came in and the bid popped back up at 205, that could be a reason to get out almost immediately and then just walk away with the profits. Instead, we're in the money now, $7 in this trade, looking for that 200 bottom. all morning long on Solar Edge. Let's see if we can't get it over here. I know some of these other names are going to be moving around. I feel like, look, if you're going to be short, stick to the name that's under the most pressure on a day where the market is unusually strong, and that certainly is the case this morning.
I mean, this market, I think it was unusually strong yesterday. The banks, I can't believe, again, we're really long the banks in my own, but right now we haven't done anything today here, and that was a mistake. We identified early that the banks were strong. We were actually talking about JP Morgan back down here at 103. We looked at VWAP and we didn't do anything about it because it was too choppy there. It didn't give us a direct, reason to go long there, but now you can see some of the rotation is in here, and yeah, it's in on banks. Just again, it goes from value to growth, and right now it looks like some of these value stocks definitely getting pumped up. I mean, look at PayPal, guys. We were buying that, and I know a lot of you. So here's Jack. I was lucky enough to get in and then basically get the out on the very bottom of Jack there. I clicked on that by accident because I didn't mean to go to PayPal. We've been going long on PayPal early right down there. Unfortunately, we got out way too early, and now it's going to the high side. We did talk about PayPal and how much we liked it, and yeah, it did make moves to the high side there. PayPal basically was down at 1.7%. Now you're back to flat. So congratulations to anybody that believed in that name. PayPal, as it looks like that's going to be a nice little winner. So this name is not, though. Palantir, we're still giving it back to VWAP, but it looks like right now it's having an issue with this 85, especially with the market coming back down now. This is going to be in a little bit of trouble. So watch out for Palantir. I don't think it's time to buy back in. We'll try to get a little bit more down here, 82, 83, but we got to drop it all if it breaks down through 80s, guys.
Yeah, and I just want to come back and look, we try to do this here, make sure, even if we had a call in a name, we might have missed it for whatever reason. I know some of you guys will be looking at the stock, and Wayfair falls firmly on that list, and as it continues to grind higher with the markets, I did talk about a couple of, I guess, levels in the way, in its way to this retracement here. 275, it's starting to approach that one and round off just a little bit. I like 285 a little bit better, but if we do roll over in this market, you do stand a good chance that Wayfair could retest that 255 lower bottom. To me, that could be a nice little long entry point if you're bullish on the stock, which I liked it down here the first time. Certainly missed the consolidation there earlier on in the day, but I think if it gives you another shot at it, it can be worth it. You probably have to give it to the low of the day, or at least to that 250 mark, so keep that in mind. If you take 255, you're risking minimum $5, possibly even 10. All that said, it is that 275 that would be your first target, and then 285 if it does want to come back in. Not chasing it this far. Long up here at like 267, 270, not necessary. I think you can be patient with it, especially if you've already had a good day, which you should. If you've been trading in this active market, it's been a good one. I just want to also jump back over to Twitter. It does make another test at 42. Starts to roll over, so that's what I was waiting for. Now that it's consolidating lower, I can go with a 42 stop and just try to short it here. I'd like a price a little bit closer at 1130. I try to be picky and get as close to that 42 out as I can, so I would ideally like to catch something in the mid-80s if I can. If it goes sideways, there should be no trouble getting into it. Like 19 million in volume, market's starting to slow down. All kinds of reasons not to chase that one. Solar Edge, we are now $8 in the money, looking for a couple more here, and then we can get out of that trade for like 9, 10, something along that range. Had to wait this one out a little bit, but finally starting to come to fruition. If 200 breaks, that's another trade right there that could get really ugly in Solar Edge heading in the afternoon if it breaks 200.
Yeah, that's a fantastic trade, a big trade there on Solar Edge. And again, solar name's going to be in play, so you got to trade what's in play. And that is a good one for sure. My eyes are just kind of going everywhere right now. I'm trying to find something that's setting up on the chart. We still do have Intel. If it can get back down here, I like what Intel's been doing lately. We've been trading AMD as well to the long side today. To the short. We did get blown, we didn't get blown out, but we did take a trade there in and out. So AMD's a positive stock, but again, now making new lows here, trying to crack through. If you zoom in, this is something that's happening as we speak right now. So I actually don't mind this break if you're looking to go short on the market. You could have a decent trade right here on AMD. What's up, Brendan?
Another one that had earnings, guys, we didn't mention. Fox A reported this morning, actually, in the pre-market here. It was actually a decent report right across the board. Not bad, but 27.50. If you go to the daily chart, a very obvious level, both support and resistance here on the daily chart, ended up being kind of a line in the sand today for Fox A. Looking like it might want to test lower here. Needs to get through 27 though, but earnings overall not bad for Fox, guys.
And we actually, look, you guys obviously see the trading floor behind us, distancing and whatnot, a bit empty. But we do have one of our traders that did return here because it got rather lonely. So welcome back, Prad. Hopefully the lunch is good on your first day back. I do want to jump back to Lordstown here. It looks like it's made a decision at that 1450, and it looks like it's going to be northbound off here. So a bit of a fail break at 1450. We're looking at that price. I just wanted to see it hold one direction or the other before sort of digging in or starting to think about a trade. This is a candidate for another push to the upside, especially now that we've held this price area. So look for hopefully some volume to come in. I'd like this for an afternoon type of push. I mean, the volume's okay at 2.5 million, but if you start thinking about trades for that, 132, 230, secondary push on a strong stock, holding above 1450, certainly good on Lordstown. BBGI, I think that would need to break like 205, but that's starting to come back in for us. So as much as I got away from adding into this position, it didn't stop us out. However, as I mentioned, I would do this, get a little bit more aggressive than the first time, and start to take things out before getting down to 165. So, there it is, 187, only a 12-cent win, and 185, only, 12, 13-cent wins down here, and then 15 pennies. We'd like to have more than that before, but when it made that retest on a bit of a volume spike, couldn't ignore that kind of strength, guys, so that's the adjustment. As it comes down to solar energy, I did move my trailing stop in that one just a little bit higher to 207.50. I can't make anything less than like $3 in that trade, but literally less than $1 away from my target. See if we can't get $9 out of it. 10's probably a little bit too perfect because that would be the actual low of the day.
We did get a little bit longer here at 84, not as much as we want. We'll see if it comes back down. That's Palantir watching that one go to the high side, hopefully now as we can regroup from some of this, as we'll see. Again, we took the top out there, and we're feeling pretty good when we were able to get out at 94. Then we got out. So, I mean, we're flat on the stock. It's not a winner, but we are trying to get some more long and then use this 80 as a break. What's up, Eve?
Another one to look at, guys. Pharmaceutical name, kind of random. GW Pharmaceuticals, $2.8 billion on the market cap. They had a multiple sclerosis treatment that they were working on in a late-stage trial that actually came out pretty positive. So, pretty positive day for this one. GWPH, 18.5%. Back to top end of the range here. $106 for this one. Just kind of creeping into mid-cap range, guys.
It has finally happened. I waited for this one forever, and I've been waiting to use this particular key. Anytime a short goes does this, and while talking about Solar Edge, obviously, from 270 getting you see absolutely crushed here. It was a $275 stock. Today touched 200. I don't short it until it rolls over after the open, 211.5. Got some out there for a quick $3 scalp, and then we get the rest for $9. If it breaks 200 even, look out below. As I've said time and time again, it's short sell restricted. That means might not be able to hit that bid without an uptick, but it's done 5 million in volume, so liquidity is actually pretty solid in this name. Now, if it tries to come back up, I just reminded myself that I should cancel my stop order. You never want to get triggered in on a stop order that's supposed to cover you there on a short trade. I don't want long in this name, but a nice little short trade. Sometimes you got to beat up on the names that are the weakest, and that certainly worked a little bit better today. I tried to short in front of the high on Li Auto. That didn't work. But you short a name that's already down, and that does. So sometimes you stick to what is simple. On a day like today, that feels like the right advice. And thank you for getting us to 1,500 likes. Last I checked, 1,500, it ain't 2K.
No, still a little away from that, but we still got 30 minutes or so to go. We did get some more again at 84 there on Palantir, so it just keeps on looking like the same tick. But I don't know why we didn't get... It doesn't show that we got more there, but we did. Okay, so Palantir, we're loaded up now a little bit more down at the bottom side here. 84s, we just got some more. So that's why you're going to see our average price is 89 now. I mean, most of our shares are long at 90, so we got to watch out for that. AMC, we've had this all day, man. We did put a bid down here, never got hit once we realized this was the bottom. We've had some bids in this range, so we'll see if it comes back down to 33 or so. We're just short literally right here, so that needs to come into play. And then our NEO, I mean, this stock, I'm going to keep holding it, but I mean, there's really no reason to get out of this other than profit taking, and that's what we've been doing, and we're not long enough anymore. We're very, very small. We only have 10% of this position, but NEO still taking out days high, and I don't know, it's basically an uncontrollable stock at this point to the high side. You can also watch Tesla yesterday. That 400 break was absolutely fantastic, and I saw today, I think 428, yep, exactly, 428, 427, the high here today. So a big move up for Tesla, just another 5+% here. I mean, look, man, people are getting their positions ready to rock and roll here for Election Tuesday. I just saw 100 million ballots already projected for early voting. 100 million, like that's huge. I'm not even sure what total votes cast were for 2016, but I'm pretty sure
that's
it was
an insane number,
near 100 million. So.
Yeah, that's a gigantic number there, definitely, and that's worth noting too, especially a day like today. Keep your ear to the ground for obviously you won't see things until the evening start to roll in more firmly, but I like 2 minutes ago, 90 seconds ago, whatever it was when I just said short things that are beaten up. But I did have a structure for this Twitter trade. It's not completely random, but it's a little ironic that I then short one of the stronger names in the market here today. Twitter coming off of what was a tremendous sell-off. You did see the big pullback into earnings here. I never really got to that 38 support area. But I was watching this 4180 to 4230 area all morning long. That's a target out for the long that I had. Yesterday's top, 4180, going into the day before. The bottom end of the range all day long was at 4180 to 4230. We get a bit of a rollover shy of 42, so it does test into that range and try to fail. I'm patient with it. I don't start my entry until 4180. Exactly. I'd like to take a little bit more, but closer to that 42 even if I get a shot. If it retraces to VWAP, I'll be perfectly happy with that. If it breaks 4130 to the downside, that could be a little bit of a bigger move down to about 4075 or so. All that said, the market has really not budged very much back to the downside here. So, that is sort of working against me here, that you are seeing us hold up at the top in both the ES and the NASDAQ, not trying to pull back. So if that does happen, I feel like there's some room to come back down in Twitter, obviously, and the risk to reward is good. It is that lunchtime hour where things can slow down, and I expect some retracement plays to start to come in. So Twitter short for the first time today.
Twitter short, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to go into Twitter short. I haven't even looked at it, so yeah, I mean, might be. I mean, the futures right now, they're just doing nothing. We did have just Arun just come on, if you didn't see it, rewind, talking a little bit about the futures there and giving us some levels to look at, 3,400 and whatnot, so that's going to be coming into play soon. I still am sick to myself because, PayPal needed to be a bigger winner, at all than it was not a loser, so that should have been a bigger one there, and it was not. So PayPal, big move. Square making moves to the upside as well here. Wow, now Square back to 160. We touched down 150. I mean, the thing about today is, man, it's been a big rotation into everything. Growth, value. We see the banks. I mean, growth is Square. Value would be the bank. I mean, they're both fintech is Square, and then the bank is the traditional. I don't need to tell you guys that. Check out NVIDIA today as well. I mean, everything we look at is going to be up 2-3% here. NVIDIA up that 3.25%. That's why we're trying to hold on to some Intel right now. And Intel right now, guys, that's a big chicken dinner winner. I mean, look at what Intel's doing. We go long right here, 24s. We're now at days high up to 40. And look, I mean, we can't sit here and celebrate a 14-cent win as if it's like multiple dollars. But the thing is about Intel, this is a nice move here for Intel. So we will celebrate that. And I'm really happy with the movements here. Let's probably just take it out now at days high. But you know what? The futures could just grind higher the rest of the day. And it looks like that's what it wants to do. So I think we could protect some of our longs, to be honest with you.
It's interesting you say that, because when you talk about grind higher, it just doesn't feel like there's a heck of a lot. There's like, if we break this 3380 on the ES, it's like, well, what's stopping us from going to the moon here? I'll be going into long at 12:30. At 42:30. I'm on BBGI here, and I was going to talk about that, but I wanted to jump back to Twitter because I didn't finish my thought. I'm out at 42, but that top end of that range at 42.30, I think that's a potential breakout a little bit later on. If the market's going to be that strong, why not take a shot at Twitter through 42.30? That BBGI, I said I would do this here because it was looking a little bit stronger than anticipated. Get some shares out in front of that 175, which was the bottom before. That's what I've gone ahead and done. So I'm really down to not much left in this position, just about like under 20% now looking at it here. If it does break towards 165, that was a target from this morning. About 15 pennies from here. We'll try to get the rest of it out. Certainly could have been an ad down around 195 to 197 when it had a failed break at 2 even. Also, that other name, Jack, J-A-K-K, also looking like it's testing back up towards its top. So BBGI falling back down, looking good. Jack, if it fails again at 585, it's lower volume, looks like a re-entry point to me, but I'm staying away if it takes that top off.
I mean, everything is pushing higher. Here's NEO, just bang! NEO, big time, rain down the money today, guys. A big time stock here. I think our most profitable here today, and look at it, just keeps going, guys. 35.12 was the high there. Our initial long and embarrassingly low. I mean, we have the low of the, this is the low of the day. I have the low of the day here, right here on NEO. And yeah, now we're all the way up here. So that from bottom to top, pretty high, 35.12 and change, and still rocking and rolling. Something new coming up right now. It's called the morning wrap, as I just heard in my ears. So let's do that with Brendan with only 20 minutes to go in what should be an exciting close here.
Hey guys, yeah, we're going to wrap things up. As far as the show is concerned, obviously half a day left as far as trading is concerned for the market. It's going to show you our top symbols here on the show. If you haven't done so already, make sure you go out and grab the watch list, guys. Pretty sure Twitter was not, but the rest of these all on the watch list this morning. So opportunities abound, as you can see. Top 4 symbols here for the 3 of us for trading this morning on the show. Twitter gave you, like, this was just unbelievable. It doesn't get much easier than that. $40 up to 40.20, just blasted right through that. 41.80 now to the long side. The guys have been discussing this all morning long, but 5.6% for Twitter so far. NIO, another one, yeah, on the watch list this morning. 33.60 ended up giving you an opportunity to the downside this morning through to 33. And then we saw it hold higher here, 33.40. And then you get that tight little consolidation and the squeeze to the upside. The rest, as they say, is new highs on the day for NIO. 5.25%. Alibaba, we talked about it in depth, the news all morning long. Big move down in the pre-market, gave you that follow through down to 280. Stabilizing though, I put these lines around 294 down to 282. So yeah, big range, but kind of stuck in a range here for Alibaba now, still about 6%. And wanted to mention this one, Jack, again, yeah, this level that was 580 up to about $6 ended up being the line in the sand. Gave you a second shot here. That was a great opportunity on the short down to 530 as well. So great day once again for us here, guys. That's going to wrap it up. 20 minutes to go.
I have to do this, guys, if I can quickly find it. I want to show you guys the watch list here because I can think of 0 times in the history of this show that I get a chance to correct Brendan, because he's literally never wrong. So I'm going to jump down. I apologize for this, Brendan, but I got to do it. There's Twitter. Every one of those names was on our watch list this morning. So there you go. All of the best names that we traded were on the watch list. Like, it's not. This is not to say that there's nothing else moving. As a matter of fact, as things start happening in the day that take us by surprise, you will see Brendan coming with live news all the time. And a lot of times you'll see some of those reactionary news plays. Maybe Sean will jump into something like that real time, or maybe we'll find something that's bursting up parabolic in the middle of the day, and we'll look for some retracement shorts. But you gotta start somewhere. And that foundation is when you come in the morning or you do your work overnight, whatever it happens to be, you got to know what to look at, because you never know what the market's going to give you, but you can control your level of preparation. And I'm going to go from that to immediately segue into the video that we're dropping today. Speaking of being prepared, I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's an election going on today in the U.S., so why not have us drop a video on trading around the election cycle on the day of the election? That's on our Market Wisdom page. Valeria's going to have the link for you very, very shortly. I just saw it pop up in the chat there, so check that one out. Obviously, very topical. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
I was just going to add to that. It's kind of funny because I actually wrote that. So Twitter, yes, definitely on the watch list. But Candy, another one, just popping up on a volume scanner here, guys, was going to double check into Candy. 7.8%. Yeah, just volume coming into KNDI here. So I'll double check on that one as well, guys.
Yeah, I mean, someone said on the chat there, I don't want to drop the mic. Maybe Neo sympathy, and look, man, I mean, let's just explode the money and call it what it is and hit some cowbells today because, again, Neo goes right up to basically my favorite stock of all time because, I mean, this stock has just been making us I've been absolutely destroying this stock. And again, it happens again today, guys. Straight to the high side. I follow the exact same procedures every day. We buy the dips, guys. What's up, Brendan?
They got California clearance here for this K27. So if you remember, these are the ones that kind of look like they have a smile face, or that's not that one, but another model has like a smiley face. So they got California clearance to run this car in the state of California, guys.
Yeah, they do. Nice car. The candy car, I don't know. I mean, those cars from China, we looked at those the last couple of days. Li Auto.
Those are nice, man.
Yeah, Neo is pretty sweet. And the XPEV car, pretty sweet. Don't know that about candy, but look, I mean, the money just keeps getting pouring in here to Neo, man. 111 million shares. Disgustingly amazing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that car is better than it looks. Let's look at candy because Brendan's just going to talk about it here. And of course, a few levels to watch. It's already it didn't blow through 730 here. It did trade through and it's starting to come back in, got to like 40s and turn around. If it does make another push to the high side, there's probably some bag holders from like 815 and like 850 that would have been hanging on to this one a little bit. Yeah, look, I said a couple people talking about an ugly car. I'm going to try and stay away from it because the first time we looked at that one, I was like, Brendan, all of us had the same look. It was like, what's up with that? That looks like a cartoon or something along those lines, but maybe it's fantastic. I really don't know too much about it to be criticizing it. I didn't get my second entry into Twitter. I'm trying to be patient with this. I don't want to have this short down at like 41.65 or 41.70 when I'm giving it all the way to 20, and then I want to be taking some profit in front of VWAP. That wouldn't make sense. So I'm trying to be disciplined here. I only have 80s for the first time. I was trying to get more in front of 90. And then that would have been the stop there, get an average price in the mid 80s, risk about 15 to 20 cents or so, which would make a little bit more sense to me on Twitter short. The market's still holding the high, so we're still looking incredibly strong here, guys. And if Twitter takes off that top, I'm really just going to be waiting until 42.30 to jump into another long trade. Obviously at the open, maybe I got it a bit too early at 41.50, but it was a first pullback. Once it broke it, I wanted to get out in front of 41.80 anyways, so I trailed to 41.50 and got out basically instantly. I put on my trailing stop, and a minute later, I was trailed out.
Yeah, I mean, right now, guys, everything is just going nuts. Thanks, Brendan, for bringing up that early Twitter trade. This was absolutely fantastic. We only hold that 10%, though, for the big, huge move. But again, I made all my damage has been done early today. So that was a big move. We've already talked about Neo. Intel goes all the way up to 40s here before coming back down a little bit. We're still in that one. That's a 10 cent winner. Neo's the dollar in the money. And then AMC, we're still waiting for this to come back down. I don't know if it does happen. We're really light, man. I should have took this out. I don't know why we're holding this. I just thought maybe we could test down to $2. This is a pre-market trade here at 9 o'clock. Look, join us tomorrow. I mean, the show's still 13 minutes, but if you're not here tomorrow early, get our watch list. Brendan and Neil just talked all about that and why we like the watch list and what that means to us and what I feel it should mean to you. So you're definitely going to want that tomorrow. We're going to have a bunch of names on there, and it's election watch list. So you might want to see what's popping off. I get the feeling though, wow, look at DraftKings, DKNG today. We didn't trade that, but again, if we didn't have so much stuff in the morning to look at, we did talk about DraftKings taking out, come on chart. Okay, my chart, there it is. DraftKings does make that big, huge move higher. Now we're back into a nice little reload zone right now on DraftKings, which is why it comes back in. To my attention anyways, $36. I think this is a good spot to think about getting some longs here in DKNG. And then the largest position that I have on right now, that's not going well, but we just loaded up again. Like, come on, charts, switch over to Palantir. There it is. We just did take some more long here at 80. We're going to use this 78 as a break. It looks like it's going to happen right now. So if we get a 78 print, we're going to get out of Palantir. It was somewhat profitable, but these last couple average ins right now, again, remember, we're not putting on huge trades, so we don't worry too much about the average in, but it is a bad trade right now on Palantir. So 1077 is going to be our out. And there it goes, breaking back to the downside. So Palantir, bad trade. We'll just say we missed the boat today on this one. We've made a lot of money on this, but today it does fall back down, guys.
Yeah, and that's the only cruise ship you'll see for a while.
Yeah, oh yeah, good point.
A couple of questions I want to get to here. First thing I want to say is when Sean talks about this time of day taking smaller positions, that's just look. It's just our advice. It's what we tell traders around here. Everyone else can do whatever you feel, but certainly most day traders worth their salt tend to put on a little bit less risk when things start to slow down. Adjust your parameters a little bit. I want to say thank you for reminding me. I think it was Dan about Wayfair. And again, like it's one of those things where I was looking to buy the dip all morning long. I had a couple of ways I wanted to do it. I never quite got into it. It was timing issues. I was watching some other stocks at the same time because some things happening in the market that caused me to not get in at 255, which is their target entry. It does go all the way to that 275, and it's starting to stall out here. I'm still looking for that 285 range to be further resistance if the market's going to make another push to the upside. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Someone asked me where I got 42.30 from on Twitter. And I apologize for this because I've had this up on the 15-minute the entire time. It would be a little bit easier for you to see had I just done this the first time. Maybe go to a 3-minute chart. Let's see if I can maybe zoom in a little bit more for you guys to see here. The last time we tested this range, this is yesterday's price action. This is at 41.80 area pre-market. Never really gave you any kind of a retest. It's exactly where it closed. But the entire afternoon, the big flush down from 45. The session before that, you look at this when it tried to bounce back to the upside, try to make a higher low off 41.50, bounced and held 42.30, that initial pullback price the entire time. I look at that failure, and a lot of times if I'm looking for a retracement short, it's like I want a target area where there was some chop, where you had a parabolic move down in Twitter. When it tried to make another big secondary move, where was there some chop and it sort of hang on in volume and then it failed below that price? When it comes back in, I'm expecting chop again. That chop area can be your entry point. It's a ramp up. It's a big move in Twitter up 5%. If people start profit taking and start slowing down, it's a range where you think there'll be some liquidity. So that's why I'd be waiting for it to break upside at 42.30 to get back into a long in Twitter or buy a dip. I don't necessarily want to touch it on a 42 break. Because what if it turns right around at the top end of that 42.30? Either you scalped it for 20 cents or the risk to reward makes no sense for me. So I'd wait for 42.30. It'll probably give you a bigger move in my opinion. But either way, that's just what I was looking at. I apologize for only looking at the 15-minute chart there. Could have just gone to the 3 and would have looked a heck of a lot more simple for you there. So we try to get to every question we can. I hope that answers yours on Twitter.
Thanks, Russell Jackson there, a fan of ours and a fan of the show. Of course, Russell, yeah, let's destroy the likes. Thank you so much, Russell, one of our great guest traders of the day. Thank you so much for that, Russell. And Russell Jackson there in Australia. So a friend from Aussie land. What's up, Brendan?
I was just double checking a print here to see if this was all one, because wow, this was a huge print on Ralph Lauren. A few of the apparel makers, guys, having nice days here, but RL, look at the volume here. As we took out $70, big level for Ralph Lauren, guys.
Was there any news on that one? It's interesting, Ralph Lauren on. Yeah, I mean,
just a big spike there.
Yeah, at this time of day, like if I don't know accompanying news, it's going to be difficult, but Ralph Lauren is going to be in play. We only have like 7 minutes to go. The day is not done. Obviously, we think the market is going to continue to move, but just to update that BBGI, it does come back in. I'll be all flat if we get to 165. We're getting close. 175 is where it turned before, so I just got some more shares out at 77. The rest of this it'll either give me that 65 exit point, or we're going to break back up to upside here. I'm not giving it to $2 again. Forget about that. I'll just trail it down to like 185 or so. Lock in 15 pennies on the rest of this trade. So it's been a good one. I did miss an opportunity to get back in on the short at 2 even, but that reentry was on volume, and I wanted to see it roll over. It just rolled over a little bit too fast for me. But BBGI, a good short trade. Another one. Look, I know we sound like a broken record, but the watch list is free. So, I mean, if you see us profiting from it every single day and looking at the names that we want to be able to trade, that are going to be active and give us some opportunities to move in, that's what we're looking at, guys. And it's really not rocket science to trade names that you think have an extra catalyst or some levels you can work off of. It's what we do. It's what other traders on the floor do. It's what good traders should do every single day, and we're giving it to you for free. And a lot of work does go into it every single morning that you might not see, but you don't have to. Just take advantage of it.
All right. We're going to get out there of Neo. There we go. We're out at 01. So once again, man, the chicken dinner winners are coming, and this one's for you, Russell. There you go. Have some chicken there tonight. Hopefully your day has been good. And yeah, no problem, man. I'll always give you shout outs We got to support our audience just like you guys continue to support us. So Russell Jackson. Russell also has a stock group there in Australia. So what's up, boys and girls? Any members of that group? Hopefully you guys are watching with us as well. As we continue to destroy things, NEO to the upside here. Look, any sort of consolidation on NEO has been a spring point. So we can wait to see if it comes back down here to 34.80 and watch out though. But I mean, the market now starting to come down a little bit. This is sort of what we thought would happen, a move off the open. I thought it would be the other way, but it went up, which is great. I mean, I'm a bull, so that's good. We go upside, and now the market's coming to fade back down. So I think that you have to watch this level here on the S&P. That's 33.70 to be exact. It's about 33.68 and change. So if that can break, and that's only 4 handles from now, so you're watching out 33.70. You can see we do have the futures down here. If that can start spitting red, I'm going to change this red. I'm just noticing now you can't really even see that on the screen. So we'll watch out for that. But here we go. The market's screaming to the downside now. We dropped our NEO. That sounds like a good decision.
Yeah, I mean, screaming to the downside. So why am I only in the money like 7 pennies on Twitter? Come on, what are you doing here? That might be, and I was like, now it's 9 cents, but still not a heck of a lot. I mean, I would have expected us to roll over just a little bit more when the market came in and Twitter's at a top. All that said, it is comfortably in the money here. It is leveling off anyways. The volume is tapering. All good signs for a retracement play back into VWAP. Whether it happens or not, that's almost irrelevant. You trade the setups. Some will work, some won't. As long as you put capital towards the ones that work most for you. I know it sounds simple, but that's just the way it is. Thank you, Dan McIsaac, there for the Super Chats. We definitely appreciate all of them here today that we've gotten. And certainly, this is what we're all about here, showing you guys the trades that we're looking at. It's only about 5 minutes to go. The market is not going anywhere. And, of course, on this day, you could see things slow down in the afternoon, which would be the anticipation. We've given you a few names to watch. Wayfair, if it tests up to 285, currently in Twitter. Still have that BBGI. And, of course, Jack looked like it's going to be southbound for the rest of the session here today. That's what I'll be watching during lunch and into the afternoon. The only other one to add to that would be, and if I can just quickly jump back to it, what is my best trade of the day? And is going to be SEDG here. It still hasn't broken that 200. It's still put in that lower high. If it does take out the low, I think things can get really ugly really quick for this name down into a 180 range. I know it's already down 25%, but that does not mean it couldn't fall further from here.
Yeah, and the market right now falling. So good little look there. Oh, welcome. New member alert there. We've got quite a decent amount of members. I think we're over about 1,000 now. Maybe Valeria can look that up, but thank you. You, I guess. I don't know. Thank you so much for becoming a member. It's very important to us to support us. The end of the last Monday of every month, we do a Q&A, and then you'll get the link to that. So anybody that becomes a member gets direct access to us. And Valeria will do a Q&A every Monday, the last Monday, of every month. Tomorrow being election day is going to be a big one. So, hold your shares tight a little bit here as the day is going to just continue to do something like what it's doing right now. I just gave you this level. So you could have maybe here. Now, again, play levels. Like if you could pick up a log down here, maybe do it. See if you can ride it a little bit back up. But don't get too crazy with trying to make some money today. The day's coming tomorrow. We could move 1,000 points, 2,000 points on the Dow one way or the other, or we could do nothing. But I'm just telling you, if you're going to, risk something, I believe tomorrow better than today, Mr. Wicken.
I was just reading a story about California. Apparently, they are another one of the states that is not going to start counting mail-in votes until 8 o'clock tonight. So they're talking about a week, possibly, to get through it all. But we shall see. Going to be interesting, nevertheless. Make sure you join us tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern time. We will be right back here to do it all over again. It will be an amazingly exciting day. Sadly, nothing terribly exciting in the way of earnings coming up after market or before the open tomorrow, but we can throw that up, guys, and show you what's coming up for earnings.
Yeah, that's a nice story. I mean, tomorrow, regardless of what's there. I mean, tomorrow it's going to be Apple, it's going to be Amazon, it's going to be Alibaba. I can already write the list right now, but, the watch is going to be important tomorrow. And I would just say look for all tech stocks tomorrow going crazy. And you know what? The other thing, too, is the market trades all night, right? So you can watch some of the futures, watch the European futures market after 4 o'clock. You'll be able to see that in the AM, depending on where you're located. So, there's going to be lots happening. Watch the US dollar tomorrow as well. I mean, I just remember in 2016 how crazy that was. We had traders going nuts after, at midnight, trading different exchanges. Watch out, like I said, the futures are going to be open as well. So you'll be able to see what's happening. I'll be waking up tomorrow, like 3, 4 a.m. Our time here. We got to get prepped for the big show. And, those that sleep on days like today or tomorrow, miss out. So I think it's very important. Come ready, come prepared tomorrow. We'll have the bangers for you again. PayPal was a big one. NEO was a big one. SEDG there for Neil as well. And I know Brendan had some of those micro caps. So just watch out, man. Tomorrow's going to be a big one.
Absolutely. I was just cranking my neck over there. Why? Because it's been a busy one, and that means we've worked up a bit of an appetite. And I see, I see what the national day is. I don't see what lunch is just yet. But if it's this, I would be perfectly happy with that. And Greg just spoiled it that it's not. One more thing before we get out of here for you guys. We got to know what national day it is. Let's go over to Valeria.
Thank you, Neil. And hey, guys, thank you for spending these trading hours with us. Please subscribe to our channel and smash the like button if you haven't done this yet. And go watch our next educational video on how to trade during the election. And besides the election day, today is the National Sandwich Day, everyone.
Yeah, remember, Neil, we had sandwiches yesterday. So
yes, we did.
Yesterday was pastrami. So I don't know if it was Montreal smoked meat. But yeah, we already had that. So I wish every day was sandwich day for lunch. I don't like eating things too heavy for lunchtime, right? We need to stay focused and ready and not sleepy. The other day, it was National Shawarma Day, I remember, and one of our traders got shawarma, and it was way too good, and you just couldn't stop eating it all. And then we basically fell asleep like around 1:30. So we don't want that to happen. Of course, that's not necessarily
I crushed those shawarmas. I'm not going to lie. There was probably, I'm going to say conservative, like 1,500 to 1,600 calories in the shawarma, and I enjoyed every last bit of it because it was fantastic. When you're looking forward to something all day long, sometimes reward yourself with it. Before, I kind of lied. There was one other thing we got to do here for whatever reason. We got to show my shocked face. I don't know why I'm surprised in this picture because it's election day. So why would we not be dropping a video on our Market Wisdom page about trading during an election? Of course, that's what we're going to do. Check it out. Valeria's already given you guys a link, so should be a good one. Obviously, it's going to be an interesting evening, and the markets should be moving one way or the other tomorrow. We'll be all over it back here for you guys. Speaking of for you guys, we're all here for you, starting with Valeria, my man Sean Katina, Brandon Wiggins at the desk, who for the first time in the show history, we actually got to correct today. It's never happened until today, so it is what it is. I'm just going to call it out. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Brendan is the GOAT. We're Trader TV Live. We'll see you tomorrow.